for defensive halfback Vince Turner makes the tackle.
Wow, that was 40 years ago, and I can still recall the greatness of the KU-MU rivalry. Hi, I'm Gale Sayers. The 112th meeting between the Jayhawks and Tigers is next on Fox Sports Net.
Great rivalries are part of what makes college football so special. Today, the border war, as it's known to generations of Kansas and Missouri faithful, will take place for the 112th time. No true fan of either club can look across the field today and not see the ghosts of old adversaries. This season, both teams are having their best starts in years. Standout performers like Missouri's Brad Smith, who last year as a freshman had over 3,000 yards of total offense. Jayhawk quarterback Bill Whittemore has awakened a Kansas aerial attack that's giving defensive backs nightmares. The glory days of the border war. It's all returned, fueled by history, fed by the competitive spirit that makes college football great. Missouri at Kansas. It's up next on Fox Sports Net. If you've got a ticket, you are one of the lucky ones for the oldest college football series west of the Mississippi. As today from the campus of the University of Kansas, KSR presents College Football Saturday, a classic rivalry as the 23rd ranked Missouri Tigers take on the Kansas Jayhawks. Hi, everybody. Joel Myers along with Dave Lappman. Welcome to Lawrence, Kansas. Well, the Hatfields and McCoys, they've got nothing on the Tigers and the Jayhawks. These two schools can't even agree on the all-time series record.
Well, they can't agree, Joel. The last two games have been won by Missouri. They want that streak to continue. Kansas desperately wants it to end.
And they can also agree that they've got, and they're fortunate to have them, two of the best quarterbacks in the nation. Brad Smith of Missouri, Bill Whittemore for the Jayhawks.
And they're cut from the same cloth, Joel. They can beat you with their feet and their throwing arm. Brad Smith last year only the second quarterback in college football history to throw for over 2,000, rush for over 1,000. This guy creates plays, and the great thing about it, the plays he creates are a lot of times better than the plays that were called. Whittemore, he's the straw that stirs the Kansas drink. There's no question about it offensively. Now, his quarterback efficiency is fueled by 10 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. He makes a bad play good, a good play great. Both of these guys understand what it takes to win football games, and that's the bottom line.
And they both come in with winning records for the first time since 1997. Coach Mangino just a few minutes ago, well, he's looking for his first win over Gary Finkel. Getting together with the students as we head back to Bill Jones in the studio.
Thanks, Joel and Dave. We kick off the day with a very enticing Big 12 lineup on this college football Saturday here on Fox Sports Net. Kansas and Missouri in the nation's second oldest rivalry coming up soon. And aside from the border war game, Texas A&M will play Pittsburgh as the Panthers make their first trip to the state of Texas since 1997. The Aggies begin a stretch of games where opponents have a combined 25-7 record. This is the third game in the series, with the two previous being nail-biting experiences. Last year, Derek Farmer rushed for 2 scores. A&M escaped Pittsburgh with a 14-12 win at Pitt. We'll keep you posted on what's going on around the country. See you for the Nissan halftime report. But first things first, Missouri and Kansas. Joel Myers and Dave Lapham have the call coming up next.
Truckloads and truckloads of built Ford tough trucks can only mean one thing. Clearance is here. It's factory authorized clearance at your Texas Ford dealer. Time to save on the best in Texas, like Ford F-150 Super Crew. Now with 0% financing or $5,000 cash back, including bonus cash. That's 0% APR or $5,000 cash back. For a truckload of savings, get to factory authorized clearance at your Texas Ford dealer today.
Locksmith to 37th and Lewis.
Hold on. 555-8123.
You're the Sparrow, huh?
Yeah.
Get what you need from the internet faster. Sign up for SBC Yahoo DSL for just $29.95 a month, guaranteed. And you could win a trip to the Nokia Sugar Bowl. One more way, we bring it all home.
do you eat to stay healthy?
Low-fat food, fresh salads,
fat-free milk, yogurt,
grilled chicken.
That's why Brahms has delicious choices for people who eat light. Ask for our plump and juicy grilled chicken sandwich or Brahms fresh grilled chicken salad. We start with savory herb-roasted breast of chicken, then grill it to golden perfection. Add a glass of Brahms fat-free milk and top it off with a fruit and yogurt swirl. Light and satisfying, yet high in protein and calcium.
Brahms makes everything better, and we can make it light.
Excuse me, we're in a hurry and I tip well.
Oh, how well?
10%?
10%? We tip 15%.
16%.
Excuse me, 18.5.
I'll tip 20%.
So we'll tip 30%.
And we'll bust our own table.
That's my table.
Our customers know the importance of shopping around. Because at Progressive.com, you can get our price for car insurance, plus the rates of other big-name companies. You could save hundreds. Check out Progressive today.
Pop quiz time. What happens to an engine with too much friction? I'll tell you, it loses power. So you want to reduce friction, right, Tinkerbell? This is Quaker State. Engineered to deliver a 10% lower coefficient of friction. In other words, it's even better than before, because too much friction, touchy little gearhead, ain't he? Nice haircut. Quaker State Peak Performance.
Quaker State motor oils are available at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
College Football Saturday on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Coors Light. Cold, down, easy.
Somebody's got to feel this! 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 Feel this! Feel this!
We couldn't ask for a better atmosphere. 112th matchup between Mizzou and KU, and down to the sideline, Jim Knox.
Okay, Joel, check it out. These Kansas fans, they're pumped, ready to go against Missouri today. It's no secret. These two teams, they just don't like each other. They're fighting an awful lot in the past, and here's your history lesson why.
Missouri, already granted its statehood, was a slave state. Kansas, just a territory, was influenced by northern abolitionists. Kansas, led by Senator James H. Lane and his Roughnecks, and fierce Jayhawker Colonel Charles Jennison would raid Missouri towns, rob their citizens, free their slaves, and leave their towns in ruins. The Missourians, or bushwhackers, led by notorious Captain William Quantrell, retaliated in 1863 by raiding Jayhawk headquarters, Lawrence, Kansas. Now Quantrell and his lieutenant, Bloody Bill Anderson, were no heroes themselves. They ran with the likes of Frank James and then later Frank's brother, Jesse James. Less than 30 years after this plight, in 1891, Kansas and Missouri started playing football together, still trying to settle their feud, and it's the longest college football rivalry west of the Mississippi. The border clash kickoff between the Tigers and Jayhawks coming up next on Fox Sports Net.
Don't you have work to do?
The mortgage. There. I'm done.
The mortgage application with 80% less paperwork from Bank of America. Higher standards.
Checking out surround sound, huh?
Oh, yeah. Time to add some big sound for the big game.
Come on,
Braddock takes his snap.
Come on.
He drops his back. He's going deep.
Maybe it's time to go plasma too.
Yeah. Thinner.
Upgrade your system now through September 27th and get 24-month financing on select TVs and home audio. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. Best Buy.
To say that these two schools hate each other, that may be a little bit too mild. Welcome back. The border war continues between Mizzou and Kansas. Joel Myers, Dave Blatt, and Jim Knox. Now, what a classic. Early fall Saturday afternoon in Lawrence. Almost 70 degrees, not much wind. And it is a beautiful day in the heart of the country. Well, Kansas won the toss. They will receive. Jerome Kemp is back deep with Greg Hagans. Hagans averaging 31 plus per return, and he will bring it back 2 yards deep. Past the 10, and he's belted right at the 20-yard line. So Hagans off to a great start this year. Stopped early by the Tigers, and Marcus James, the return man from Mizzou, making the hit. Well, Bill Whittemore, the newcomer of the year in the Big 12 last season, off to an unbelievable start this year. Second in the nation in passing efficiency. Second as well in the Big 12 in total offense, 325 yards a game. He's got Clark Green in the backfield, the sophomore from Tampa, in a single set. From the 20, the Jayhawks started off. Running the option early. Green on the boundary. Good move to the outside. First down, Kansas, all the way past the 35. Green broke containment. Good job outside. Smith made the stop. Sarah starting 11 for the Jayhawks, along with Whittemore, Jones, Whitaker, Vaughn, the JUCO All-American last year, Coker, and Lewis, as Coker's got the most experience up front as well. Green, Simmons, the wide receiver, along with Gordon and Rideau. They've got some talent at the wide receiver spot. And Lyle Anderson. Lyle Anderson is the tight end. He had a shoulder problem. They were going to see if he could go. Clark Green stays in the backfield out of the gun. And do they ever spread the defense? Whittemore in the play fake. Deep down the middle, almost intercepted, deflected. The Tigers took it away from each other. Dietrich Harrington, the rubber back. The redshirt freshman out of Mexico, Missouri.
Well, the first play of the game, Joel, they went 2 tight ends and ran the option. Second play of the game, 4 wide receivers and spread the football field. Nice recognition of the route by the Missouri Tigers in the zone coverage. Got the hand on the football, deflection by Harrington. Excellent read, good break on the ball.
So now it's going to be 2nd and 10 outside of the 35. Green stays as the single. They punch 3 to the wide side of the field. And now Whittemore, the senior from Brentwood, Tennessee, is changing the play. There'll be a little bubble screen. It is a lateral. It was thrown behind him. But they'll say it's incomplete. Charles Gordon instead of...
I think Brian Smith tipped it.
Yes.
Defensive end Brian Smith got his hands up.
Now defensively for the Tigers, they were phenomenal over the first 3. Last week against Middle Tennessee State, different story. Smith has 5 sacks. Ellison, Mosley, and Bill up front in the 4-3, and actually a 4-2. They've got a whip in the secondary. Getting their leading tackler last year, and then Washington and Harden on the corners. Harrington, the rover. The whip. And we were talking about Simpson. And the free safety, Nino Williams. Now 3rd and 10. 4 wide receivers setting up. They're looking for the screen. Green's got it. He's got room. Will he get there? Almost. He's short of the first down, I believe, by about a half a yard. Pulled down by the Tigers. Leading tackler last year, junior James Kinney.
Tony Coker is injured. Tony Coker, the offensive lineman, injured at about the 47-yard line, and he's not doing very well at all.
And he does own the most experience on their offensive line. Played last year as a junior from Hoisington, Kansas.
I think he got rung. I think he took a shot from Frazier. He can't balance himself. He got hit in the head, and right now he's trying to get his faculties back. I mean, he's staggered coming off the football field.
Jayhawks, do they have it? Yes, by the nose of the football.
And a good call when it's 3rd down. You're thinking there's going to be extreme pass rush. Missouri comes up the football field. Draws and screens are a good call. Excellent catch of the football by Clark Green, and then get it north and south. And pick up as many yards as you possibly can. He drags James Kinney for a couple of extra yards and gets the first down. Nice call on the first big 3rd down opportunity that Kansas had.
Whittemore last week threw for career high 319 yards in their win over Jackson State. They had 641 yards of total offense. That's how good it's been here in Lawrence. They've got a first down close to the 46. After the play fake, Whittemore in trouble, and he'll just throw it away. Good idea. Prevented the loss. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, ran a little crossbuck action in the backfield, trying to confuse the Missouri Tiger linebackers. They didn't get confused whatsoever. Almost 62% completion percentage, 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You know, you try to have a 2-to-1 ratio, touchdown to interceptions. His is 5-to-1 right now. That's phenomenal.
Dave, when he was coming out of high school, first of all, he was the player of the year his senior year in Tennessee. And then nobody gave him a look. Tennessee Martin gave him a scholarship.
Right.
He got hurt, and then he went on to Fort Scott. Little did he know he would end up here in this battle. Now, 2nd and 10.
Oh.
Mizzou moved up front. Were they drawn off, though?
Well,
it was the end.
Kansas, Denver Lattimore, he basically broke from the line of scrimmage as a tight end as well, and they're going to call him. Lattimore from Kansas broke his 3-point stance and lurched forward, and that's going to be the call. Watch him right here. You can't start the play, fake the play, start of a play at the line of scrimmage, and he leaned forward. It was almost simultaneous movement, but Lattimore, they called him for movement up front. Defensively, you can move if you don't penetrate that neutral zone. He can't move out of that 3-point.
Mark Mangino in his 2nd season, off to a 3-1 start, trying to beat Mizzou for the first time. They lost last year in Columbia 36-12. Now 2nd and 15. Whittemore calling in his own number, no. On the edge, nifty move. Clark Green showed some patience, let the man slide by, and finally Kinney in on the hit again. It'll still bring up 3rd and long.
You know, now Green is a guy who they say, you know, he's a blue collar, just a power. But watch this move. Plant, cut up the football field. You know, now he's working against the down lineman, granted, Rusty Grove, but he had Rusty Grove slip sliding away, and Green planted and made him miss and get up the football field for some yards, another 3rd and long.
Well, they touched the football. He converted the last time. He's been a part of both first downs. 53% on the season. Mizzou at about 47%. Out of the gun. Whittemore finds some time. He's got a man and overshoots him. Man. Wide open was Mark Simmons, the sophomore from DeSoto, Texas. So on the run, it just sailed on Bill Whittemore. But Kansas, they've got to be encouraged by what they did offensively already against Mizzou.
Well, that time Kansas offensive line not able to handle a simple end tackle twist up front. Missouri ends penetrate, tackles loop. End penetration up front, the right-hand side. The Whittemore caused the problem.
Now Marcus James waits for the punt from Ansell. Once he touches it, it's a new Mizzou record. And that's his 112th catch on kick and punt returns. So a new all-time leader, and he's not far away from overtaking everyone in the yardage department. 150 yards there. So Mizzou deep in their own territory. Usually it doesn't make a difference with a sensational sophomore from Youngstown, Ohio, Brad Smith. Last year he had over 3,300, almost 3,400 yards of total offense. That shattered the school record by better than 800 yards. So far this year, he hasn't made a mistake, Dave. 7 touchdowns, no interceptions.
That's the big key. I mean, he's so poised, so confident. A redshirt sophomore, and you would never know it. His maturity level is amazing.
Mizzou from the 8. And a false start on the right side of the offensive line. Gardner tackled on that side.
Kansas crowd making a little bit of noise on the road, a little bit of a factor for the Tigers early on.
Big ones up front, and they are huge. Draghi, Palmer, Ricker, Young, and Pathrap. Experience from Mizzou offensively. They got 10 of their 11 starters back from last season. Abram, along with Mboga, Coffey, and Outlaw in the 3 wide receiver sets, and Victor Cisse gets the start. J.D. McCoy with an injury to his MCL, so he's out at least this week. Nothing doing for Abram. The senior from Lake St. Louis, Missouri, shut down immediately as Banks Floodman, who leads this defense, the linebackers, the strong suit of this 4-3 for the Jayhawks. Weekly rather, Kip Jones and McMillan, who leads them in sacks right now. Along with Floodman, who made the stop. Reed on the outside, former high school quarterback, and then Toomey, who started his career at Oklahoma. Johnson and Amati on the corner, Stubbs and Lamb are the safeties. But Toomey, right away they told us, by far he's their best player on the defensive 11. Now on 2nd and 10, underneath, it's complete. Taking it in for the Tigers, Cisse, who gets the start for McCoy at the tight end position. Short game, though. Good coverage by the Jayhawks. Johnson, the cornerback, coming up, a senior from Boynton Beach, Florida, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
Cisse, a heck of a target, 6'6", 255. But Kansas is pinned Missouri back. Tough field position. It really limits your game plan. You don't want to turn the football over. It's something Missouri doesn't do. They definitely don't want to turn it over here backed up.
Now Smith will have got his own number on 3rd and 6. Yes, he will. Found him in his block. Spinning, he won't get there. They shut him down, and what a play by Nick Reed, the sophomore. Delby, Kansas.
Nick Reed, they moved him to the secondary for a little while, and they said, you know what, Nick Reed is built to be a linebacker. His makeup is all about linebacker. He is making plays for this Jayhawk defensive football team. Sure tackle there.
Brock Harvey with a very important one to start the game. Charles Gordon, the return specialist, back close to the 40 for the Jayhawks, who are already winning the battle of the field position.
Here comes some pressure, maybe.
Eluded. And a beauty by Harvey. Wow. Way back is Gordon all the way inside his own 25. Gets a block, no flag, and there he goes. Down the sideline. Harvey's the only one who can get him to the 30. Slows him down to the 20, and he's hit from behind near the 15.
Boy, Flash Gordon, phenomenal. Last year as a punt returner, he set a school record. And you know, this kid, when he gets his hands on the football, he is a dangerous player as a wide receiver as well as a return man. Excellent punt, but outkicked the coverage a little bit. And Flash Gordon makes the first miss. Once the first misses, it's off to the races. He picks up some good blocks and gets to the sideline. Nice effort by Harvey, though, to turn him back inside and where his teammates can make a play. Touchdown saving play by Harvey. But making Michael Harden miss was the key to getting that thing started by Flash Gordon.
So now Green in the eye. Don't see it too often. Wabusi is the fullback. It'll be the fullback. No, the pitch, and it's on the ground. Green covers it, but he loses 5. Back to the 19. So big play early for the Missouri defensive unit. Now can they stop him in the red zone?
Loss of 5 on the play.
Clark Green coming off a 100-yard game last week. He led the Jayhawks in rushing last year. Leads them in receiving, believe it or not, so far this season. Simmons, though, is the guy who averages so much per catch. So you look for Mark Simmons, who they overshot early, but he's averaging 31 yards a catch coming in. Now out of the gun from the 19.
Check.
Without a doubt, it's a check with me by Whittemore. It's Green, bigger at the middle, checked out of the pass, went to the run, almost paid off all the way down to the 10. I don't think there's any doubt he checked out of a pass to a run.
Well, and Green showing what he does best. He's a blue-collar guy, and what he does is just keep that pad level low, and he's very, very powerful between the tackles. Nice blocking up front, little zone blocking. Look at Jones, the left tackle, so athletic, getting inside, a former tight end, wearing number 57 in that blue jersey. Got up to the second level against the linebackers with extremely quick footwork.
Now 3rd and 6 from the Missouri 10. 5 minutes gone by. Big punt return, set it up, ball by Charles Gordon. Whittemore out of the gun, quarterback draw, will he get there? Yes, extra effort gets him down to the 3. They look like they got him close to the 5, but he lunged the extra 2 yards.
Well, the thing that Whittemore does, as well as anybody in college football, is compete. He's got a capital C stamped on his heart for competitor, and he is not going to spit the bit. And in a big football game, the bigger the game, the bigger he steps up. That's just a nice individual effort on a called play, quarterback draw. When you have a mobile quarterback like Whittemore, like Brad Smith in the red zone, that's a great call.
Spread the D again. 3 wide receivers to the wide side. Green the only one flanking Whittemore in the backfield. On the high snap, Whittemore again. Does he get there? Short of the goal line by inches. Great call and a nice fake to Clark Green, who took some of the convoy over to the near side on the play fake.
Well, it's just a dive option. It's the same play that Brad Smith runs from Missouri. Out of the shotgun, Whittemore has got a running back on his hip. He's keying this defensive end. The defensive end closes on the running back. He keeps the football and tries to option. Boy, that's close. I thought he hit right on the goal, right on the goal line. If the tip of the ball crosses the front tip of the goal line, it's a touchdown.
It'll be Green. Whittemore calls his own number. Does he get there? I believe so. Yes, touchdown Kansas.
Well, the bigger the game, Joel, the bigger special teams are in the kicking game. You don't want to make a big mistake in the kicking game, and you want to make a big play. First big play in the kicking game goes to Kansas. Excellent punt return by Flash Gordon. Charles Gordon gets his team ready.
Short field because of Gordon.
Swing and gate going on. Now they're lining up conventional extra point now.
Johnny Beck for the point after. The junior from Kansas City, Kansas. And did he push it? No, he did not get it. He did push it wide right. He's really had his problems.
Yes, he has.
It started last year. 2 years ago, he was rock solid. Last year, only 7 for 17. Charles Gordon, though, with a long return, took it all the way down to the Missouri 14, and Bill Whittemore cashed in with a quarterback sneak.
Lastly, I've got an announcement that's going to make a lot of you happy. We're getting all new printers and all new copiers from a company called Kyocera Mida. Tell them why, Andy.
They're simple and easy to use. They're people-friendly.
You'll access everything from your desktop. Jen?
Because they're network-friendly.
They produce brilliant color with a cost of ownership. Tom?
That's budget-friendly.
People-friendly copiers and printers only from Kyocera Mida.
I'm gonna have a breakfast toaster sandwich with ham.
Are you talking about the sourdough breakfast?
Sonic has them on this Texas toast.
Do we have the regular bun, the sesame, or the sourdough?
But Sonic has these Texas toaster ones. That's not.
Okay, this isn't Sonic. This is
Thick Texas toast. Sonic's got it, others don't. Breakfast at Sonic, featuring our delicious new Breakfast Club toaster sandwich made with ham, egg, cheese, tomato, and bacon. Have a good morning.
How can a person using a walkie-talkie in Los Angeles instantly contact another in New York? Homing pigeons, flocks of our feathered friends, tirelessly flying from one coast to the other, outfitted with leg band transmitters and tracked from rooftop data centers to create an airborne network that makes transcontinental walkie-talkie signals possible.
No, that's not how we did it. Introducing Nextel's coast-to-coast walkie-talkie. Now that's a walkie-talkie.
College Football Saturday on Fox Sports Net, brought to you by Kyocera, the new value frontier. Also by Dr. Pepper. Be you, nothing better, it's Dr. Pepper. By Nissan and your local Nissan dealer. By MetLife. Have you met MetLife today? And today's First Down Line, brought to you by Net Zero high-speed internet. Surf the web up to 5 times faster. Great campus, and what a day to be in the Midwest for Mizzou and KU. That's all you need to say. Tyrone Roberson going back for the Tigers along with Marcus James. And Johnny Beck hits it short and high. It'll be taken by an up man at the 20. And Mizzou will get it across their own 30. Past the 31. Orlando Gooden, the linebacker, bringing it back for the Tigers.
Whittemore came up just short on the dive option play. So the surge by the right side of his offensive line say, you know, Whittemore, you set it up. Why don't you finish it? Look at the guys come off the line of scrimmage. A little bit of penetration, little leakage on the backside. Not a good enough seal block on the backside by Whitaker. But Whittemore overcame that. Second effort got him in the end zone, put his team on top. Big special teams mistake, though, missing that extra point by Beck.
So a 6-0 lead. Abram on the play fake. Smith going for the bundle for Outlaw and overshoots him at the 30-yard line. He had beaten the coverage downfield. In fact, it was double coverage downfield. Tony Stubbs, the closest one to him, the strong safety. Jonathan Lamb also there.
Once they get good field position, offensive coordinator Dave Christensen said, you know what, I'm going play action. I'm going for it all. Brad Smith just a little bit too much on the football. Outlaw, being 6'3", has that size advantage down the field.
So now 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Abram weaving his way out of the backfield. He'll get a first down across the 40 all the way to the 44-yard line. Mizzou can run the football. There's no question about that. One of the very best in the nation is Gabe Toomey made the hit. Now, how important is this game? Well, we've talked about 112 meetings. When Mizzou fumbled at the goal line back in 1977 in that matchup, and they lost to Kansas 24-22. It most likely cost Al Onofrio his job. He was the man who succeeded Dan Devine. And Dan Devine, of course, the Super 60s for the Tigers. Onofrio, though, was only 1-6 against Kansas, and it finally cost him. From the 44. Smith in trouble. And a pop out of bounds.
That's
Any
close.
flag?
That's a flag, yep.
There's the flag.
There's two of them.
Nick Reed late. He's a former high school quarterback. He should know better.
Yeah, it's field awareness. Once you get into that 5-yard white area on the sideline, leave him alone. Nick Reed didn't do it. That's a big one. That's 15. That's just being a little bit too emotional. You know, and watch, once you get out into this white, leave him alone. I mean, that's way too late. You have to have field awareness. Once he's in that out-of-bounds boundary there, that's why they make that yard, that area so wide, so thick, is so the players know once you get in that 5-yard white zone, leave them alone. And you know, emotions are factor in a rivalry game like this, but you still have to play smart. Sometimes when you're too excited, you blow assignments, you make mistakes. You have to kind of curb it in a little bit.
You don't also help a team that has averaged 486 yards a game in total offense over the last 3. Now the delay, Abram breaking tackles inside the 35. Zach gets 7 on first down for the Tigers. Now brought down by the defensive end, David McMillan.
Abram, 5th all-time in Missouri, and he's got a good shot. If he averages 77 yards a game through the rest of the season, he'll be the all-time leading rusher at Missouri. He started his career at 240 pounds. He's reworked his body down to 225 pounds, and he is a load.
They've had some decent running backs there when you talk about the all-time leading rusher. How about Johnny Roldan, James Wilder?
Yep.
Abram in that company now. Smith on the quarterback draw. Nifty move, but he is pounded as he took it inside the 35. He thought he could go to the sideline for the first down. He's short by 2 at the 33, hit by Corey Kipp. Now, Key's coming in for the Tigers.
Well, the biggest thing is turnovers. They don't want any, and they want to take some. They've only got 2 turnovers all year long. No interceptions, lost 2 fumbles. They wanted to dictate field position. So far, Kansas is doing all the dictating in field position. 3rd and long. Last week, Middle Tennessee State converted 3rd and 7 or more. Can't do that this week against Kansas. Got to have better concentration and focus.
Smith with trips on the wide side. Look for the little shovel pitch. Now the pass. And he's got his man for a first down. Did he take it in? No, he's out of bounds. Darius Outlaw. He tried to get that 1 foot down, but his momentum took him out of bounds. Now, on 4th and 2, is it going to be Michael Matheny, the place kicker?
Outlaw, great extension. Can he dot the, nope, left foot down before the right. The right comes down, or in bounds, but the left had already come down 2 yards out of bounds. No catch. He had possession. First foot down was out of bounds, though.
And Mizzou is going to bring their fullback in. They're going to run it to the short side of the field. Abram gets the first down. Plenty of yardage inside the 20. He's hit from behind to the 15, so quick count to the short side of the boundary side. And Zach Abram all the way down to the 14-yard line.
I like the call by Gary Pinkel. A little bit too long for Matheny's kicker, so he said, you know, I'm not going to punt it, because if it goes in the end zone, I don't gain any yards out of this on a touchback. I've got confidence in my offensive line, and boy, did they seal the right side of it. Nice kick-out block by the fullback. Cisse does a good job on the edge, securing the perimeter of the line of scrimmage, and then Zach Abrams says, I'm finishing this one.
That was Bo Veman. Another tailback in front. The kick-out block you were talking about. Counter. Over to the left side. Damian Nash, the speed in the backfield inside the 10. His first carry of the day. Sometimes the speed hurts him because he runs too quickly to the hole. He doesn't wait for it to open up. He's admitted that, but he gets 8 on first down.
Well, he had his knee reconstructed. Junior college player last year, tore his ACL, returning the opening kickoff of the season. He hasn't played football in over 2 years, but he was Gary Pinkel's first recruit at Missouri. And Pinkel loves his speed and acceleration.
Abrams back in there from the 5. 2nd and a couple. It'll be Abram. Left side. And the linebacker, well, he went after him. And Tony Subs, in fact, the strong safety, may have taken the worst of it, but did a good job to stop him short of the first down by a half yard.
That's the most consistent player of this defensive football team for the Jayhawks is Stubbs. He's always in the right spot. He always makes plays. Coach Pinkel, if he can win today, he gets back to that 500 mark. Had a great run at Toledo. He's a disciple of Coach James up at Washington.
Now, Nash back in there, lunging. He's right at the marker. Make it Abram instead, the senior. Honorable mention, all Big 12er last year. The mark put him at the 3. It may be one of those that knows of the football.
I think you might see Gary Pinkel go for this again if they are short. I think he's got such confidence in the surge of that offensive line that it may be 4-down territory for him again. So you would have Kansas backed up. You have to think, will your defense, the overall picture of the game, do you have confidence in your defense that if you do fail, will they turn it right back over to you 3 and out and give your offense good field position again? He's got confidence. He's sending a message to his offensive line, his offensive football team.
So right now, is it going to be Abram getting the football? They need inches. Smith on the edge. Naked bootleg. He's in. Touchdown, Missouri.
What a call. Tremendous call by Gary Pinkel and Dave Christensen, the offensive coordinator. You know, like you said, Joel, they only needed a yard. Abrams the power guy. And you have little dexterity here with the ball fake, and away goes Smith. And just speed. I mean, the guy runs 4.45.
And do you like his chances of outrunning Monroe Weekly?
Yeah, all day, every day. Weekly at defensive end, and you get Smith in the open field that runs 4.45. No contest. Excellent call.
The senior from Columbia, Michael Matheny, splits the uprights, and Mizzou has a 1-point lead by way of the Johnny Beck miss. So Smith with another score. Tigers on top of the Jayhawks.
It's fun, and the original one, Dr. Pepper, Cindy Lauper, the taste of Dr. Pepper, the taste of originality, salutes individuality. Gives life, what you do, be you, nothing better, Dr. Pepper.
Everybody's talking. Sure, I like it when my son calls, but every day. I know what you mean.
Instead of if you don't have something nice to say, I should have told him if you don't have something new to say. I'm playing bocce ball. Leave me alone.
Can you ever call too much? Find out. Get unlimited nationwide SBC long distance calling for just $20 a month, guaranteed. One more way, we bring it all home.
That's what some car dealers call a battery inspection.
The CarMax checks a battery's terminals, amps, and volts.
And that's just one part of our 125-point inspection. CarMax, the way car buying should be.
At CarMax, we'll buy your car, even if you don't buy ours.
And the cars that don't pass our high-quality standards get sold at major wholesale auctions.
CarMax, the way car buying should be.
America's pastime ignites in prime time. The Major League playoffs begin on Fox.
Back in 1996, Missouri's all-time leading rusher, Brock Olivo, rushed for 166 yards on 26 carries, taking the Tigers to a 42-25 win against the Jayhawks. That game at Faurot Field in Columbia. Tigers ended the season with their 5th victory for head coach Larry Smith, their most wins in 9 seasons. Last time they had a winning record, it was 1998. But when it comes to Missouri and Kansas, and I'm all for it being the final game of the regular season, I hope it goes back to that eventually, as Jerome Kemp waits for the kick from Matheny. And it'll be taken by Greg Higgins. Big yardage again across the 30. Flag on the play, though it's coming back. Couple of flags, in fact. That'll negate a nice move by Higgins right past the 20-yard line.
Higgins set a record last season, 691 kickoff return yards, a school record. And he was averaging over 30 this season. He's the threat back there, but I agree, Joel, there's got an illegal block going on here. It's going to negate good field position for the Jayhawks.
And Coach Mangino told us yesterday at the walkthrough he thought that special teams were probably going to be the difference in the game because of field position.
Yeah, he said defensively they're not really strong enough to dictate field position, but he said we're trying to do it with our kicking game. Dictate field position with our kicking game. Guys are starting to believe in it. We got big guys that can run, and they're doing a good job with it, but this hold is going to hurt them.
Receiving team. After the play had ended, personal foul on the kicking team. Both penalties will be enforced.
Wow, so walk off 10 from the spot of the infraction on the return, and then put 15 on Missouri after they mark off the 10 from where the hold took place. So you got a little walking to do here by the officiating crew.
First spot, I believe, was the 22, which would take it back to the 12, and then bring it back outside
which
of
would
the
be
25. Right. If that's the point of the infraction, John Bible, the referee, pointed to the 22-yard line to start it all off. So that's where Kansas will have the football when we come back. Right at their own 27-yard line with 4:40 to play. 1-point ball game. Missouri up early in Lawrence.
This is a place where there will be a vigorous exchange of ideas, where people will come and remember that public service is a great and honorable calling. This magnificent institute is a tribute to Bob Dole, but it's also a tribute to the great political system of which he was so proud to be a part.
America's pastime ignites in prime time. The Major League playoffs begin on.
We know you depend on your vehicle, and you can depend on National Auto Care to keep your car in top running condition. With our state-of-the-art equipment, newly remodeled facility, and in-house parts department, we can get you back on the road faster than ever. From compacts to luxury cars, serving your repair needs is National Auto Care's highest priority. We even offer free loan cars with major repairs. For over a decade, we've made it our business to know your car. National Auto Care in Arlington, Highway 360 and Pioneer Parkway.
In these halls, the fate of a nation is decided.
Let the word ring forth from this time in this place, gentlemen.
In these rooms, history is written.
We're not going to get anywhere putting on a calm face. We need to pick a fight.
The most honored series on television has a new address. The West Wing, weeknights at 11 on Bravo.
Net.
Brad Smith orchestrating a long drive for the Tigers, and they've got the lead. About 10 minutes gone in the first quarter. Well, don't forget it all starts with JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy at noon Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific tomorrow. First game, 49ers taking on the Vikings, trying to stay undefeated. Then how about Bill Parcells facing his old team for the first time? The Jets desperate, looking for the first win of the year. That's our doubleheader tomorrow. Don't forget it starts with the pregame show at noon. Our Nissan scoring drive. Missouri started with the ball back at their own 31-yard line. Didn't take long. And the touchdown run by Brad Smith. Abram, though, with the big runs.
Coach Mangino trying to get an explanation from the referee, John Bible, saying, you know, help me figure this out. You know, I don't understand. We got flagged and then the personal foul. I think Coach Mangino's thinking the personal foul should supersede the other call. The personal foul has been called right there against Nino Williams.
It's a dead ball foul. So during the play, the actual illegal block, the hold on Kansas, then the dead ball foul against Missouri. Green and Randall comprise the backfield along with Whittemore. First down for the Jayhawks. Randall on his first carry. He had a career best 11 carries for 78 yards last week in the runaway from Jackson State. And good yardage on first down, about 4. Now the personal foul.
Let's see what Nino did. Right here, little push after the play. Nino got knocked down, a knockdown block, and Nino said, you know, I don't like that. You know what? I think that one's kind of ticky.
You said it.
I mean, to call a personal foul on that, there was no flagrant hit, no hit to the head. You know, that's just guys fired up to play.
I've seen more pushing in the men's room.
Yeah, I think the officials are trying to keep control of this football game because it is a rivalry, but that's a little bit way out there.
Back to throw Whittemore on the bubble screen, and it was read perfectly. Mizzou collars it inside the 30. Jim Knox, what's the latest downstairs?
Okay, Joel, just want to show you guys this snapshot. This was the picture that was plastered on every Kansas Jayhawk locker this entire week. What this is, it's a snapshot of last year's game. Tigers knocked off the Jayhawks in Columbia, Missouri. Tiger players then hopped onto the goalpost along with their students, tore the thing down. The battling cry this week for the Kansas Jayhawk players, remember the post, guys. Little added ingredient to add more fuel to the fire of this intense rivalry.
Remember the post. Got to remember that.
As long as the Gipper didn't get a mention, we're okay. 3rd and 8 from the 29 and the loss of 2 on the catch by Simmons. Whittemore wide open over the middle. He's got his man. Gordon on the catch, or make it Brandon Rideau instead, the junior from Beaumont, Texas. And that was soft in the zone in the secondary for Missouri.
You know, and the thing to watch here, watch Whittemore, the drop, and then watch him transfer and deliver a strike. I mean, it's just outstanding. Here comes his receiver coming across the middle into the zone as Joel described. The zone a little bit too soft. Whittemore, once he gets off that back foot and transfers his weight, that had some RPMs on it now. That wouldn't have gotten wet going through the car wash.
From the 45, 1st and 10. It'll be an end around. That's Gordon. Trying on the edge and head over heels. What a play in the secondary. The Tigers stop.
Simpson.
Jason Simpson, the whip.
The hit.
The sophomore.
Yeah, he one-on-one in the open field. Boy, he was excellent because Flash Gordon's got some make you miss, and Simpson says not today. That's just, boy, you take the legs right out from under him like that. That's getting it done.
Young man from Houston. He's only a sophomore for Gary Pinkel. Started 9 last year as a redshirt freshman.
Gordon's only 165 pounds, and he got taken down that time.
Now Green. Belted going up the middle across the 50. Down to the 49-yard line. Kinney on his back. Junior from Kankakee, Illinois. And it's going to bring up a big 3rd down field position wise for the Jayhawks. They've got it in plus territory at the 49 of Missouri. So here we go on 3rd and 4. And today's first down line is brought to you by NetZero high-speed internet. Well, Whittemore called his own number and get out on the edge once again. Green the only one in the backfield, 2 to the wide side. Tigers off the edge. The blitz was coming. False start. Man, it's going to be 3rd and 9.
The Tigers flinched, but Kansas flinched. Once you're in that 3-point stance, you can't flinch on the offensive line.
False start on the offense.
That was at the tight end once again.
5 yards, 3rd down.
Anderson's not in there now. It's Denver Lattimore, who's the backup, the senior from Halstead, Kansas.
Take a look at the here's the movement. Here's the movement up front by Missouri, but the flinch was on the edge of Kansas's offensive line.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 9 from the 46. 2 to each side. Whittemore so successful. 53% on 3rd down tries over the first 4 this year. Plenty of time. And he's got his man at the 30. Complete. Simmons does it again. The sophomore from DeSoto. The Texan playing in Kansas with a big catch.
Oh, he's got the speed. Simmons has got the speed, averaging over 31 yards a catch. Calvin Washington had pretty good coverage on the play, but Simmons just got the step on him.
How about the pass?
And Whittemore, I'll tell you, once he transfers the weight from that back foot to the front and follow through, great mechanics, right on the money. The coverage not terrible at all. That's just a great throw by Whittemore.
Pass was perfect by Whittemore. First down, Jayhawks at the 22. They started back their own 27. Bunch 3 on the same side that Green is headed towards. And he won't get to the line of scrimmage. He lost a yard and a half. Well, Mark Mangino talked to us earlier about his quarterback, Bill Whittemore.
He's not a big guy, but he plays big. He plays with a lot of heart. He has great leadership qualities, and he's a playmaker. He's a guy that can make plays. He can take a bad situation and make it a positive on the field.
He said that that's actually the biggest similarity in the 2 teams he thought was Whittemore and Smith, that they are playmakers.
Oh, they create, and they create in the pocket. They create in the open field. Whittemore's only been sacked 1 time all season long. That was in the opener in a downpour against Northwestern. He gets rid of the football, and he makes things happen when the play breaks down.
So Kansas driving on the final snap of the first quarter. Entertaining start as we suspected against 2 high-powered offensive units. Into the first 15, Missouri by 1.
This afternoon, one of our advisors showed this dad how to protect his family and still retire at 55.
They're rolling cross country through every city and town, carrying something just for you. Big clearance savings. It's factory authorized clearance at your Texas Ford dealer. Time to save on the most trusted SUV Ford Explorer, the versatile Ford Escape, the roomy Expedition, and the rugged Ford Excursion. With financing as low as 0% for 60 months or up to $5,000 back, including Ford Credit bonus cash. Get to factory authorized clearance at your Texas Ford dealer today.
They called us the angels of technology because we work so far up in the heavens.
Here on the plains rises a marvel of engineering, a giant radio antenna built to make coast-to-coast walkie-talkies possible. It's the tallest structure in the world.
The engineering is incredibly complex. I mean, the tower is over 400,000 feet tall.
To be a part of something that can be seen from space, well, you can't help but feel a little bit proud.
No, that's not how we did it. Introducing Nextel's coast-to-coast walkie-talkie. Now that's a walkie-talkie.
The ultimate fantasy football show. Who's a stud? Who's a dud? We know what you don't. Weekends on Fox Sports Net.
In 1956, Mizzou scored a game-tying touchdown. It was finally remembered by Tiger coaching legend, the late Don Farrow.
We knew he had this double reverse, and he hadn't used it yet. And we knew they were going to run it sometime. And sure enough, they ran a double reverse play in the end zone. We happened to, a guy named Chuck Mayer, tackle in Kansas City, broke through and threw him for a loss and 2 points and won the game. And the boys carried me off the field, and that was my last game, and it was a real nice way to go out.
What a class act. Don Farrow, 19 seasons and 2 tours of duty as the head coach of the Tigers. Won over 100 games at, of course, Memorial Stadium in Columbia is better known as Farrow Field.
And your last game is a win against your arch rival. That's big.
From the 24, it'll be second and long. Whittemore out on the edge, design row, belted from behind. Lucky to hang on to the football. C.J. Mosley teed him up.
Boy. You made a great call there, Joel. Whittemore, one tough customer to experience ball security when getting blindsided. I mean, that's a runaway freight train, and you have no idea he's coming. I mean, it's backside. Here he comes, and he's got the target. He's got the bullseye right between the shoulder blades. C.J. Mosley said, down you go. Second sack of the season allowed by the Jayhawks.
Well, Mosley leading the Tigers and stops behind the line. 6'3", 300-pounder. He's got to be tough. He's from Fort Leonard Wood.
Run a little bit, too. He ran pretty well.
It's from the 29. Third and long. They picked up the stunt, floated over the middle. Rideau's got it wide open, won't get to the marker. But he set up Johnny Beck for a much better try at the field goal from the 19. It'll be about a 37-yard attempt. Our MetLife first quarter numbers. I wouldn't be surprised, Dave, to see 500 yards for both teams before the day is done.
There's a big deal right here. 80% on third down for Kansas. Missouri's 0 for. They have the donut on third down.
Now Johnny Beck missed the extra point. Can he give Kansas the lead with a 36-yard field goal attempt? Out of the hold of Curtis Ansel, and it's a bobbled snap. Ansel scrambling, falls on the ground. Mizzou's got it. Another blown opportunity by the place-kicking unit.
Yep, they missed an extra point. Now they can't handle the operation. Snap, hold, and kick. They made a great play with the punt return. Flash Gordon set up his offense for a touchdown. Good enough snap. That's just a bad execution by Hansel. And then he can't stay on his feet. I mean, take the gloves off. It's a beautiful day. Catch the football and place it.
So now Missouri with great field position. They've got it at their own 27-yard line. Abram on the edge. And will it be Nash instead? He'll start this series. Gary Pinkel told us Abrams the regular, but look at it, 2 or 3 series into the game. Nash was going to get his opportunity. You talked about him as the first big one, the big recruit out of East St. Louis High School. He only played 1 game at Coffeyville Junior College, and that's when he tore the ACL.
On the opening kickoff, he didn't even get that game completed. And I'll tell you, here's a guy though that can make a difference, make people miss on the second and third level.
He got 3 on first down. And it's batted down to the bubble screen. Great read by Nick Reed. He saw it all the way, didn't he?
Sure did. Good timing by Nick Reed. He got airborne and spiked it to the turf.
So now it's going to be third and long for Brad Smith and the Tigers. We have have not seen Smith caught his own number all that much out of the shotgun, where he likes to run it. Fake to the fullback or fake to Abram and take off in the other direction. Abram is taken over in the backfield. Smith underneath. Outlaw won't get close. Dropped at the line of scrimmage. Great coverage. Gabe Toomey saw it. The inside backer. He's out of Des Moines, only a junior. And he started his college career at Oklahoma. And Mangino said, I had enough of him on the scout team when I was the offensive coordinator there.
Yeah, he was the only guy that was giving Toomey feedback on how he was playing. They established a relationship. And he went and played at junior college, got a little homesick, and then Coach Mangino said, why don't you come down here? He committed to Iowa State, changed his mind, came to Kansas.
Brock Harvey into the wind. High wobbler, headed to the sideline. No. Gordon, it may have glanced off Gordon. There's a flag on the play. They impeded his opportunity to catch it. Kenny, the linebacker down there.
Yeah, he signaled fair catch. And you have to give him an opportunity to extend his hands and catch the football.
Interference with the opportunity to catch the kick on the kicking team. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Halo rule or no halo rule, that rule is enforceable.
So for the second time over the first 4 possessions of the game for Kansas, they will start in Missouri territory.
There's the fair catch signal, waving the arm, waving the hand, and right there, the contact.
You know, that's a tough call.
Well,
he's trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, but he contacted him. You have to allow him to extend his arms and catch the football, and he took his body, he took away his opportunity to make the catch on the ball. What you have to do is his teammates have to communicate with him and tell him it's a shorter kick so he can react to it.
He doesn't turn around. He's not a defensive back trying to locate the ball like you would see in pass coverage. So a big break for Kansas now at the Missouri 43.
When you see a guy signaling fair catch and running at you, you got to turn and find it.
Out of the gun, blitz off the edge. They go to that side. It's off the helmet of Rideau. In and out of his hands, and not the way he wanted to use his noggin.
Well, that was one of the keys for Kansas coming into this football game. They wanted to make some big plays, as they have all season long. They wanted to catch everything, and this one went right through his hands and hit him right in the smush, right in the face mask.
It almost got stuck in the cage.
Yeah, it sure did.
Now Key's coming in for the Jayhawks.
Well, they've made a lot of big plays. They've made more plays of 20 yards or more this season in 4 games than they did all of last year. Offense, defense, and special teams. Distribute the ball to everybody, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and catch everything. Didn't on that one.
Whittemore again working from the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Clark Green, Bear didn't get back to the line. That's identical. These two teams run a lot of the same plays, don't they? Rusty Groff, the senior out of Kirkwood High School in St. Louis, along with another junior St. Louis, and Tia Ellison, combining for the stop.
They do run a lot of the same plays, Joel, and a lot of similarities. They both have a playmaker at quarterback. Their wide receiver core is a work in progress a little bit, and the running backs are similar in style. A little inexperience in the secondary. A lot of similarities.
So now it's going to be 3rd and a dozen. Whittemore with 2 to each side. Green stays in the backfield, though. Straight 4-man rush for Mizzou. Heat coming, Whittemore buying time. And wide open at the goal line and dropped.
Incomplete.
Moderick Johnson, the true freshman from Houston, couldn't believe he was that open.
Man, he kind of just put it in a Cadillac trot. You have to finish running and catch the football. And that was, again, the big key, catch everything. Last year, Kansas had problems at wide receiver dropping the football. None bigger than this one. Broken coverage and not able to hold on to the football. Now, this is a big receiver, 6'5", very confident, but boy, almost too easy. He looked it in, didn't take his eye off the football, just flat dropped it.
Marcus James back at the 10, waiting for the Ansel kick.
At the 10-yard line.
Well, as bad as Harden felt, and they're at just a pop-up, very short one. James calling for the fair catch. He's got it at the Mizzou 17. Well, Harden feels badly. How about Moderick Johnson? So disbelief for the Jayhawks and their center. Nobody can believe it here.
He was a great teacher. He taught me to love the law.
Does that seem like the kind of guy about to throw himself off a building to you?
at the center of a mystery.
Is there no one in the venerable law firm of Lyon, LaCrosse, and Levine familiar with obstruction of justice?
There's a new man in power.
There's a setup. For what?
Get out of here. Why he still have his hands?
And he's about to change the rules.
What are you afraid of?
Nothing.
Rob Lowe
I accept the position.
is in the Lion's Den this week on NBC.
Try the new Southwest Char Grilled Salad featuring spicy chicken, only at Chick-fil-A.
What do you eat to stay healthy?
Low-fat food, fresh salads,
Fat-free milk, yogurt,
grilled chicken.
That's why Brahms has delicious choices for people who eat light. Ask for our plump and juicy grilled chicken sandwich or Brahms fresh grilled chicken salad. We start with savory herb-roasted breast of chicken, then grill it to golden perfection. Add a glass of Brahms fat-free milk and top it off with a fruit and yogurt swirl. Light and satisfying, yet high in protein and calcium.
Brahms makes everything better, and we can make it light.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Tigers very fortunate to have a 1-point lead over the Jayhawks. College Football Saturday presented by Kyocera brings you back to Lawrence. Did Monterick Johnson slow down?
Definitely. You know, you have to finish your route. He was so wide open, he thought, I can go into a Cadillac trot here. Now he has to try to accelerate and extend with the football. And he looked it in. He still should have caught the thing, got two hands on it and didn't squeeze it. And this young man is extremely confident. Right now, his confidence is shaken. A true freshman, 18-year-old kid, could have made the play of his life, and it didn't happen for him. It's going to be another day. What you have to do, Whittemore has to go right back to him so he gets that confidence back.
And Kansas has had great field position in this game. They've started at the Missouri 14. That's their only score. Last drive, they couldn't pick up a first down. And they had it to start at the Mizzou 43. Smith getting it off. Nothing there for Zach Abram. Gabriel Toomey all over that play. Jim Knox.
Okay, as you see now right behind us, Monterick Johnson just getting up to the bench. All the players came over to him and said, hey, that's all right, freshman. You're going to get a few more of those. That's all right. You're going to get some touchdowns as well. Now, keep in mind, guys, they had drops all last year. During the offseason, what they did is they employed a jugs gun, shot some footballs at him. Then they also employed a jugs gun for tennis balls and really started firing at him. And every drop pass, they have to do 20 push-ups. Those push-ups are beginning to mount, guys.
Brad Smith trying to do it. He pirouetted through one tackle, but Nick Reed finally got to him. Past the 21 near the 22. Brings up third and about 5. Well, they can go over there now and say to Monterick Johnson, don't worry, it's okay. Drop another, though, I'll kill you.
Yeah, and really the biggest challenge for Monterick Johnson now is to forget about it. You can't let one bad play become two bad plays. The next time he gets an opportunity, he's going to have selective amnesia, forget all about the misfortune, and make a play.
Now, Missouri has converted 2 fourth downs. They're 0 for 4, though, on third down tries. Smith on the quarterback draw, and he won't get there again. Spinning, he stopped short by a yard at the 26. Toomey wouldn't quit on the play. He had help from Big David McMillan, the right end. So Mizzou 3 and out with another punt for the third time over their first 4 possessions.
Toomey, 6'4", 235-pound guy that can run. And when you're at Oklahoma, if Bob Stoops recruits you to play linebacker, you're an athlete. And this guy is the best cover. He's tied for the team lead in passes, defense, and interceptions as a middle linebacker. Complete athlete.
Now let's see if Brock Harvey tries to keep it low and away from Gordon. Because if you get it up, you're into the win.
Watch this, coming off the edge. Decides not to.
Altered his route. Low wobbler. Gordon doesn't call for the fair catch at the 42. Can he get outside? Almost. Across the 45. He's got it near the 49-yard line. So exceptional field position again for Kansas. Now, can they take advantage of it?
Look, I need the closest locksmith to 37th and Lewis.
Hold on. 555-8123.
So you're the Sparrow, huh? Yeah.
Get what you need from the internet faster. Sign up for SBC Yahoo DSL for just $29.95 a month, guaranteed. And you could win a trip to the Nokia Sugar Bowl. One more way, we bring it all home.
They're where you are. They're where you've been. They're where you're going. Wi-Fi internet access for your laptop or PDA. T-Mobile Hotspot. Get more.
The 7-passenger, electronic 4-wheel drive Acura MDX. Power and safety, living in perfect harmony.
They're where you are. They're where you've been. They're where you're going. Wi-Fi internet access for your laptop or PDA. T-Mobile Hotspot. Get more.
College Football Saturday on Fox Sports Net, brought to you by Kia Sierra, the new value frontier. Also by Dr. Pepper. Be nothing better at Dr. Pepper. By Acura. Experience the performance today at your local Acura dealer. And today's First Down Line brought to you by Net Zero high-speed internet. Surf the web up to 5 times faster. Joel Myers, Dave Lapp, Jim Knox basking in the sunshine down on the sideline, and it is a brilliant afternoon in the heartland. 70 degrees at kickoff. The Jayhawks trailing by a point, but they have dominated offensively, and now in the delay, Green banging his way across the midfield stripe close to the 45 of Missouri, gets about 7 on first down. Well, Kansas is 0 for their last 21 when they're facing ranked teams. Mizzou comes in 23rd in the nation. They would love to do a number on the Tigers.
Almost at the Missouri 46.
Now, big gain on first down. Wabusi will stay in there. In the eye. Haven't seen much of this with Clark Green. Green altering his direction for a first down. Taking tacklers inside the 40. Down to the 36. Quincy Wade out of Lindbergh High School in St. Louis, who's sophomore on the hit.
Let's take a look again at the touchdown opportunity that slipped through the hands of Moderick Johnson. Here he is at the top. Cornerback here thinks he's going to get some inside help. He drops coverage. He thinks the safety's going to help him over the top. And he stopped. Now Moderick will restart. Right here, he just starts to slow down a little bit at the 20-yard line. Now he has to re-accelerate to try to catch the football. Blown coverage by Missouri. And an unfortunate drop by Moderick Johnson.
Good grab out in the flat. John Randall. That was a bullet, a dart. He only gets a yard, though, to the 35-yard line. So Kansas has had the field position. They've had the opportunities. Now can they finally capitalize?
That's it. Be opportunistic and capitalize on those opportunities. And another blown coverage for Missouri, though. That was a problem last week against Middle Tennessee State. You know, what you have to do is forget about that and bounce back. Don't let one bad game become 2 bad games. And they have to be a little bit more secure back there in the secondary assignment-wise and breaking on the football.
It'll be 2nd and 9 from the 35. Out the D once again. Whittemore trying to buy time. He's on his way down. And falling forward, he avoids the sack by the last surge. Brian Smith all over him, though. 5 sacks over the first 4 games, and he almost had his 6th.
And here's what you want defensively. The Tigers have them 3rd and long. 3rd and about 9. Now, this is the problem they had last week against Middle Tennessee State. They had 7 of these, 3rd and 7 or longer, that were converted. And now you have a quarterback that gives you a 2-way go. He can beat you on 3rd and long with a throwing arm and with his feet. Tough challenge.
He looked better out of the shotgun earlier in the game. They've slowed down over their last couple of series when he's gotten under the center.
Come on, Dave!
Now they go back to the gun with Whittemore and Green in the backfield. 2 to each side. So 3rd and 9. They pick up the pressure up the middle. He's hit as he throws. The grab is made, but he's short of the first down. Gordon coming down with it. A redshirt freshman out of Carson, California. Played his high school ball at Santa Monica High School. How would you like to say I played in the Ocean League? Santa Monica High School in the Ocean League.
That's not a bad place to be in the old Ocean League. Now, big decision here for Mark Mangino. He's going to call a timeout and think about it.
Well, his kicking game has hurt him so badly.
Right.
Does he have an option? He's got to go for it.
I say go for it as well. Now he's probably thinking about the best play to call.
Find out about the decision for the Jayhawks with the Tigers up by 1.
Tonight after the football game on Bubba Burger's Hardcore Football, OSU head coach Les Miles will be in studio. And A&M looks to get back into the win column as the Aggies host Pittsburgh. We will have extended post-game coverage from Kyle Field at College Station. And our own Rick Renner previews the Big Tuna going back to the Meadowlands to play his former team. So get ready, hardcore fans. We'll see you tonight after the football game on the Bubba Burger's Hardcore Football.
The model year closeout is on at Grubbs Chrysler Jeep. New 2003 Liberties now just $14,988. New Grand Cherokees just $20,588. And Town & Country's closeout priced at just $18,988. Plus, every new car comes with the Grubbs exclusive 3-day, 300-mile return policy. You don't like it, we'll take it back. No questions asked.
Real prices, no games. Just look for the Grubbs family name.
The road of life is a journey, and the relationships we form along the way make it well worth the trip. GMAC Insurance and Kilpatrick Insurance know that cars bring people together, and that providing dependable insurance solutions for every car and driver is a way of keeping people united. It's nice to know that after all this time, getting there is still half the fun. GMAC Insurance and Kilpatrick Insurance. We keep your life moving.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Weekdays on Fox Sports Net.
When I got, right after my interview, for my press conference, when I got this job, I went in to meet a bunch of alums and, hey, how you doing, Coach Pinkel? You better beat Kansas. Hey, Coach Pinkel, you better beat Kansas. That happened about 60 times in about 4 minutes. So I figured it out real fast around here that how important that game is to our fans and the responsibility that I have.
It is a classic rivalry. The oldest west of the Mississippi, second oldest in the nation by only a game behind Minnesota and Wisconsin. And Coach Pinkel trying to go 3-0 against the Jayhawks. Joel Myers, Dave Lapp, Jim Knox down to the sideline. Play of the early game for Kansas on 4th and 5. Whittemore on the slant. It's complete for the first down. He got it to Moderick Johnson, who truly needed it.
Yep, that's good move right there by Coach Mangino. And Whittemore, the quarterback, he got inside of Calvin Washington. Moderick Johnson at 6'5" is a great target on the slant. Whittemore put it right in there, and you have to give the young man credit. Moderick Johnson said, I'm getting inside. I'm going to present myself as a target. Just a heck of a catch. Great throw by Whittemore. And that's going to help this young man, true freshman, 18 years old.
It's down to the Missouri 22. Gordon, the motion man. And now he wants to throw the football. The southpaw wide open to the goal line, almost taken in. Closing on Mark Simmons. The defensive back in a hurry was Nino Williams. But he was between the coverage early. I like the call.
I like the call, too. After you make a key first down, go for a little bit of razzle-dazzle. Here's Gordon. He's got the football. Now it's not a reverse. Here's his target. Look at Nino coming out. Oh, he doesn't even make contact with it, but Simmons felt him. Simmons felt him, and he said, you know what? I'm going to brace myself for a little contact. Got to worry about the football first.
Trips over to the wide side. Tigers fortunate that Williams didn't bite on the action in the backfield. Whittemore looking underneath. He'll run it as they push it downfield to the 15, and he's got another first down. He saw very early with the trips taking the coverage downfield. He had quite a lane.
That's the thing. When you have such a threat at the quarterback position to throw it or run it, you're in trouble. Yeah, I mean, you're in trouble. Now you're playing. You're the free safety. And here comes Whittemore. It bursts out, boom, there he pops up on you in between all those big offensive and defensive linemen, and you have to make the reaction.
And Dave, that's where his size is really an advantage. He got lost at 6 feet.
Sure is. And he's tough on the edge. If you're an outside linebacker or cornerback, you drop coverage and get after him when he's running the football. You can't do that or throw it over your head.
Jayhawks try for their second lead of the game. The bubble screen. Simmons popped inside the 10. Gain of a couple at the most. for Mark Simmons. All the receivers are coming back. In fact, the oldest was Doe, a junior, Simmons a sophomore, Gordon a redshirt freshman, and then Johnson, who we've been talking about. He was the Houston area high school offensive player of the year. He's a true freshman.
He's a talented kid. He's going to make a lot of plays for this Jayhawk football team. And I got to give him a lot of credit. You know, he had that big drop. He came right back on a big 4th down play, ran the slant and toughed it out, made the catch.
Spread it again from the gun. Green stays in the backfield, and he'll get the football with the guard in front of him. And he shut down inside the 5. It looked like he was going to get at least the 1st and goal. Danny Lewis was leading the way, though. What a big block by the offensive lineman.
Excellent execution up front, and that's one of the biggest improvements. Almost averaging 5 yards a crack today is Green, and he's just look. Here's his escort, and he's saying, "Hey, stand by me. You got to hit somebody, though." He whiffed on the block down the football field. If he makes his block, Green may take it into the end zone, into pay dirt.
So now it's 3rd and a deuce. They need to take it just inside the 2. It's at the 4. Checking over the line, toss sweep, Green. He's got the 1st down, and he's got the touchdown. Wabusi with a big block in front. Clark Green with a score, and the Jayhawks go on top.
Well, that kid's got some strong legs. I mean, Green just kind of pushed the whole pile into the end zone. He finishes every run. Finishes hard.
They're going for 2. They don't have a choice this early.
Got to get back on schedule. That's what a missed extra point will do for you.
And now, actually, Johnny Beck is coming on the field for a single. That's a surprise out of the hold of Curtis Ansell. These guys need to build their confidence after what's happened in the kicking game. Missed extra point, blown field goal opportunity. Will they get one here? Better exchange, and Beck comes through. Kansas is up by 6.
Ansell did a good job there. The snap was a little inside. He secured it well.
The world is full of individuals with their own personalities, their own quirks, their own fingerprints. They cannot be put in a box. Why should they drive one? The V6 Nissan Altima.
It's good to taste the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field together. It's good to throw a 5,000-mile post pattern together. It's good to make your entire league beg for mercy together. NFL Fever 2004, rated E for everyone. It's good to play together.
Tyrone Robertson from his own 5 brought it back to the Tigers, but a rude greeting once he got to the 15. So Missouri is going to start again very deep in their own territory. Clark Green in the touchdown run. The fullback Wabusi with a sensational block, and the Nissan scoring drive. Finally, Kansas takes advantage of a very short field.
Boy, Green doesn't say a whole lot. He lets his running and his play speak volumes. That's a powerful kid. He finished that run extremely well.
Missouri looks like they did in their opener, at least offensively, against Illinois. Brad Smith out of the shotgun. Finds some time, and a little dart into the dirt. He was looking for Abram. Well, time for a Dr. Pepper game break. Let's head to Bill Jones.
Thanks, Joel. Ex-Kansas coach Glenn Mason has his unbeaten Minnesota Golden Gophers playing in Happy Valley. Marion Barber, his 8th touchdown of the year at the half. Mason's Gophers up over Penn State 17-14.
And they started that game, Bill. Started it with an onside kick, so Glenn Mason was ready to go as they covered the onside kick and got a score. Now, 2nd and 10 Missouri, deep in their own territory. Smith on the play fake. Moving the pocket, the tight end asking for it. Cisse with room and a 1st down. He was begging for the football. The linebacker left him. Finally, the strong safety gets him Tony Stubbs.
Nice job, Joel, as you described, as Cisse finding the soft spot in the zone and settling in. That's the little dive option, play action fake. Now on the perimeter, Smith's got a 2-way go. Is he going to tuck and run, or is he going to dump it down the field? He finds Cisse wide open in the seam of the zone. lose the chains.
In the opener against Illinois, Missouri barely had 200 yards of total offense and won it on the final drive. Illinois had better than 400, but Mizzou struggling offensively so far. The slant over the middle, it's complete. The grab made by Umboga. It was popped as soon as he got it after a gain of close to 5 up to the 34-yard line. So can the Tigers do it again with very little time, but all 3 of their timeouts on the board. Today's first down line brought to you by NetZero high-speed internet. Missouri has not been able to move the chains all that often. That catch by Cisse, only their 5th first down. So Mizzou down by 6. Smith, he seems so much more comfortable out of the shotgun. Looked at the tight end, throws it late, and it's batted right back in his face. Indecision early for Brad Smith. Chuck Jones, the junior from Altadena, California, played his JUCO ball at Pasadena City College. He read the quarterback's eyes.
Really trying to go into this short area right behind the line of scrimmage, and Smith plenty tall enough, but he's trying to dump the ball in the crossing pattern just very, very shallow. And Jones says, no, nothing doing. I can't sack you, but I can get my hands up and deflect the ball. That's exactly what he did.
Now, how big is this for Kansas defensively? They still have 2 timeouts on the board, 2:19 to play in the half. Missouri looking at a third and a long 5, almost 6. Smith with protection. Now it's coming unraveled. Abram underneath, and he's got the first down, I believe. Yes, across the 39 to the 40-yard line. So that was an option. They moved the chains, going to stop it to the clock, and Jim Knox, what's the latest?
Okay, Joe, I just want to tell you something. Clark Green, of course, caught all the congratulations on that touchdown he just scored just a couple of minutes ago, but everyone surrounding Modric Johnson. Remember, he made that key 4th and 5 catch that kept that drive going. Modric Johnson, the freshman, now redeemed, guys.
Yeah, it was a slant. He had nice separation and a seal on the defensive back. The kid needed it. From the 40, Smith running it on his own. A quarterback sweep. Slowed down, but still gets 5. So Missouri has to start thinking about using some of their timeouts with 1:43 and counting. And they'll go with a hurry up.
On the last 3rd and long, or 3rd and 6, Kansas only rushed 3 and dropped 8 into coverage. Made it hard on Smith. He checked down late to Abram for the first down.
Smith again on 2nd and 5 to the sideline. Taken away from Darius Outlaw. Well timed by Tony Stubbs. It almost seems like Smith's a little late, Dave, in his reads.
Yeah, but excellent route recognition by Stubbs and broke on the ball well. But I agree with you, Joel. If you're going to get it down the field into the intermediate range, you have to throw it a little sooner than that. But Stubbs was all over it. You know, if that was a double move, Stubbs would have been in trouble. But he read the route, took the chance on breaking on the ball as soon as he did, and it paid dividends.
Another big 3rd down coming up. Brad Smith, they finally converted for the first time. Missouri's only 1 for 6. They're strong to the right side. Good protection for Smith. And now thinking about running for it. He won't get there, though. He bolted out of bounds at the 48-yard line, shy by 2. And that saves Kansas a timeout.
And Kansas really...
And now they say, well, Kansas ought to stop it right here, Dave. It's running.
Kansas fired up. I mean, they are running to the football as a group exceptionally well. Multiple people getting hit on Brad Smith. Right now, Kansas is out hustling Missouri.
I can't believe Kansas won't use one of their 2 timeouts. Brock Harvey is punting into a very stiff breeze, although Mizzou looks like they're going to go for it now. Well, at least if Kansas isn't going to stop it, they're going to call a timeout and make a decision.
Brad Smith with the official going to let the play clock run down as long as he can and signal the timeout with just like a second left on the play clock.
But if you're going to go for it, you would have called a timeout a long time ago.
And the fact that Kansas isn't calling a timeout, they're just basically trying to make Kansas pay.
And now it's a delay of game. Brad Smith said, I want to call a timeout with a second or 2 on the clock instead of 5-yard mark off and a punt coming up for Missouri. So real confusion for the Tigers.
Gary Pinkel just said to Brad Smith as he came off the football field, he said, I told you, with 1 second call timeout. And it wasn't communicated to Brad Smith.
So a mistake for the Tigers offensively. They have really stuttered in the first half. last Saturday. What a day for Rashawn Woods, setting Division 1A record, 7 touchdown catches, Oklahoma State's win. And meanwhile, Oklahoma's Antonio Perkins setting an NC2A record with 3 punt returns for scores, 74, 84, 65 yards against, I think, a Pac-10 school.
Yeah. Boy, what a big day for the state of Oklahoma. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma.
Well, let's see if they can get to the punter. Nobody back. Harvey almost had it, and now he's hit. It'll be a first down for Missouri.
Yeah,
so now Missouri's going to get a chance with 16 seconds left as Dave McMillan off the end did run into the kicker.
He did. He wasn't blocked into the kicker. He was trying to come off the block and make a play on the punter.
It should be 15. If it's 5, though.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker on the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Here comes McMillan. And watch, he's going to bull rush the blocker, and then he hits the punter with his shoulder as the punter's airborne. You got to call that because the punter's in a vulnerable spot. The left shoulder hit is the play that was called because Brock Harvey was just spun around. And that's a costly penalty. But right now, all that clock that Missouri, as it turns out, all that clock Missouri let burn, they wish they had back right now.
Now with Matheny, the place kicker, looking, if they can get into the 30 or 47-yard field goal, they need more than that, though. He's hitting it into a stiff breeze. They can use the middle of the field, though. Missouri's got a couple of timeouts and a bad snap. Smith will cover it.
Well, what happened is they were audibleizing.
And it hit Smith.
And Rickard didn't hear the audible, and he snapped the ball prematurely. Brad Smith was realigning everybody by formation, calling the recall on the play, and A.J. Ricker snapped the football early. Look, he's rerouting everybody, setting it up. A.J. Ricker doesn't hear it. He makes the call, and he snaps it too soon.
And too low. It wasn't even a good snap to begin with.
But he snapped it. He wasn't even hearing Brad Smith making the calls that he was making, I don't think. And fortunately, Brad Smith falls in the football. It could have been real tragedy for Missouri.
Yeah, Missouri is lucky to go to the locker room trailing by only 6. That's been that ugly offensively for the Tigers.
That goes as a fumble, though. That's a backward pass, and that's a fumble. So that's the third. They didn't lose it as a turnover, but they put it on the ground again.
Well, we thought we'd see a ton of points and about 500 yards of total offense from each team, but a lot of breakdowns, and especially for Gary Pinkel's Missouri Tigers. Downstairs we go to Jim Knox.
All right, Coach, you got to be extremely pleased. You started a little slow, the turnovers and also the penalties, but right now the offense controlling the ball, defense doing a great job holding Brad Smith.
Yeah, our defense is doing a good job. Our offense is moving the ball, but we've got to get more scores in the red zone. We got to jump up and make more plays. We should have more points here, but we're not making the plays we need to on the offensive side of the ball. Special teams is helping us.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to ask you next. Special teams, you got to be pleased about that.
Special teams have been good for us. We've been playing field position all year with special teams, but today in the first half, our defense is allowing us to play the field position game.
Great, Coach. Best luck in the second half. Joe.
All right, Noxie, Coach Mangino on target. They should have more points. Kansas should have a bigger lead on Missouri right now at the break. They're leading, though, 13-7. Now back to the studio. Nissan Halftime Report with Bill Jones, Greg Hill, and R.C. Slocum. Gentlemen.
All right, thank you very much.
But they haven't capitalized all that often. So we're at halftime. It's only a 6-point lead for the oldest rivalry in college football west of the Mississippi. Will the Jayhawks prevail for the first time over the last 3 seasons? We'll find out after the next 30 minutes of play. To Mboga. Nick Reed popped him coming across the middle, but he didn't put him in a position to succeed early the scoring drive for Missouri.
Here's the only one of any consequence. Look at that. 3 plays, 3 plays, 3 plays. You got 3 and outs. For Missouri, as high-powered as they are offensively, to have 3 and outs, you got to tip your cap to Kansas. What they're doing, they're rushing 3, dropping 8, rushing 4, dropping 7, giving Smith nowhere to throw it.
Abram on a counter. Big hole over to the right side. Breaks a tackle into the secondary. And Zach Abram, who averaged, and I'm surprised he didn't see it more in the first half. He had 7 carries for 46 yards, so better than 6 at Bob. He got a nice block from Dreggy, but they didn't give him the ball enough.
And Damian Nash complimented a Joel with 5.5 yards on a couple of carries. And this is when you're struggling offensively, you let the big boys up front come off the line of scrimmage and create some seams. And Abram took advantage. Nice misdirection, and he carried the load.
From the 49, first down Mizzou. It'll be Abram. As they pulled the guard, he runs out of an ankle tackle down the sideline. He's got another first down. Missouri came into the game averaging 232 yards a contest on the ground. Now, Dave, you're 9th best in the nation rushing the football, and you forgot about it.
Yeah, exactly, and they're getting back to it. Watch the best player right here. Watch Toomey. Misses the tackle. He comes off the block. He has Abram one-on-one, basically at the line of scrimmage. Toomey can't finish. Toomey goes down for his ankles. Instead of running through him, Abram breaks through that tackle for big yards.
Abram with a season-high 138 last week. He had a 64-yarder in the win against Middle Tennessee State. From the 29, Abram again altering his direction for a short game, as he's got about 3 to the 26. So getting back to the basics, Mizzou very quickly goes from their own 28 to a 2nd and long at the 27 of Kansas.
And they're just going with the Zach attack. Zach Abram, you know, and get some yak with Zach, yards after contact. And that's the formula right now in this drive, is let number 38 just get some things going and let the offensive line reestablish the line of scrimmage backwards.
Caught it 2nd and long 7. Now out of the edge, Smith had the tight end, finally gets it to Cisse, and he's close to another first down near the 19-yard line. They've done a good job, though, of containing Brad Smith. Johnson on that last stick.
Now they have turnovers, as we talked about the keys to the game, Joel. No turnovers for Missouri, and they got 1, so they're +1. They got 1 from Kansas. Field position has been a big minus. That's been a problem for them. 3rd and long. 4 of 8, 50% on 3rd and long. That's another minus. That's why they're down.
Need about a foot for the first down. I take it on a quarterback sneak on the right edge of my center. Now it'll be Abram. He's got a first down and a flag in the secondary. There was blocking right down the hash mark. Tony Stubbs tripped up Zach Abram. And was it a face mask as well to get the running back down finally?
Yeah, and with the way Zach's running, you try to grab anything you possibly can to curtail his effort. But the way they're talking about it, it seems like it's more than a face mask, doesn't it? Maybe there's multiple penalties here.
Holding on the offense, personal foul, face mask on the defense.
There were multiples.
Penalties offset, repeat 3rd down.
So they've got to pick up the foot again. It is still 3rd down.
You know, the holding was the umpire throwing the flag, and then here's the face mask right here. And really, it's more helmet than face mask. I mean, there's face mask attached in there, but yeah, what you're doing is you're making sure that the athlete isn't jeopardized having a neck injury by getting his head yanked around by the headgear.
And Missouri lost on the placement. The ball was just outside of the 19. Now they put it on the 20. And Damian Nash is in there, but Brad Smith takes it on his own, and I think he's got enough for the first down. Depends upon which linesman they give it to.
Yeah, it's going to be.
If it's the linesman that's in there quickly, it's not a first down. He went inside the 19. The other linesman on the near side put him outside the 19, and he's going to be short.
And I think he's go for it again. You know, 4th down, you almost picked it up, and I think you hammer the offensive line, and you have Brad Smith, who's 6'2", go after it again. But Gary Pinkel upset right now that on 3rd and less than a yard, his big horses up front could not reestablish the line of scrimmage enough for Smith to pick it up.
It's interesting because, Dave, on the first 3rd down, when they gave it to Abram, that's where the football was. Then when they put it back down after the offsetting penalties, they put it back on the 20. And he's short by inches. Jim Knox.
Hey, Joe, right now, Zach Abram on the sidelines. He hobbled off a couple plays ago. They're checking out that right ankle. He's kind of hobbling on the sidelines. Not in right now.
Okay, that's the reason. Damian Nash is taking over. The senior from Lake St. Louis, Missouri. Tom Smith, though, onto another sneak. He only need about 6 inches. And it will be. And Brad Smith's got it. He's spinning, and he's got the first down, I believe. Yes, finally down to the 18. He almost busted it for good. Lamb held on the free safety.
Boy, everything's tough for Brad Smith today. Nothing is coming easy. I mean, Kansas is flying around the football field and trying to take him out of every single play. And they're doing a pretty good job of it.
Well, Dave, you talked about it. They're only in pass situations rushing 3 and dropping an 8.
Or rushing 4 and dropping 7. They're not giving him a whole lot of area down the field to throw it, Joe.
So now it's a first down. It'll be Abram back in there, breaking out of the ankle tackle. How tough is this kid? 5'9", 225, and he gets 5. All done on his own.
That's what he was averaging per carry coming into this football game. He's done nothing today to hurt it. In fact, he's improved that average per carry. And He's just a hard-nosed kid, and nothing fancy about him. You just have to bring your lunch bucket because he's going to hit you every single snap.
And especially when he gets around the goal line. He's the best in the nation with a touchdown every 12 touches. Now slipping through one, down to the 10. They get him near the 9.
And where
one touchdown every 12 touches.
Right, that's the best in the Big 12.
Best in the Big 12. L. Roberson right behind him.
And this is where he excels as well. Coming into today's game, he was 6 for 6 on 3rd and 1, and he converted a couple of 4th and 1s for him as well. He was perfect on the year, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 with that big, powerful body.
Bo Veman in at the fullback spot. He's a backup tailback. And is there going to be a timeout taken? Damian Nash also in the contest. The officials stop it momentarily. 4 minutes gone. Kansas is yet to touch the football. Missouri's first drive started back at their own 28, and they need a timeout if they don't get Floodman off the field, and finally they do.
And Joel, here it is, 3rd and 1. Abram on the sideline, counting today's 2 for 2 on 3rd and 4th and 1. He's 10 for 10 on the season on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1.
Will it be? It'll be Brad Smith, 2 targets in the end zone, underthrown, still almost grabbed. It's incomplete. He had 2 wide open, got it there late and short, and Stubbs got his paw up there.
Yes, he did. Great play by Stubbs. But as you described, Joel, throw it a little deeper in the back. Stubbs has got 2 to cover, and he's in no man's land. Brad Smith upset with himself. You saw him pound himself in the chest. He just lofted this thing. That's an excellent effort by Stubbs. I mean, a little bit deeper. He's trying to go to Cisse. And when Stubbs deflected it, it almost went to his deeper receiver in the end zone, but Brad Smith knows he blew a chance.
Now, Abram, he's got it on 4th down. So they, believe it or not, this is the strangest number of the entire day. They go for it on 4th again, get it. Missouri is 1 for 9 on 3rd down, and they're 4 for 4 on 4th down.
And that's because of that guy. Now on the year, he's a perfect 11 for 11. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. Give it to Zach. Zach will attack you.
Is that their comfort zone now, 4th down?
It seems like, it's 4-down territory everywhere for Missouri.
1st and goal, Missouri. The counter for Abram, and he's hit in the backfield. A loss at the 9. Johnson, the defensive back, pinched in on the corner.
Yeah, they brought a tight end and tried to trap the tight end, and Kansas said, nah, it's not happening on this sequence.
So Johnson, the senior from Boynton Beach, Florida, transfer from Garden City Community College.
He's showing that right gun. He's been in the weight room. He's trying to get the call.
Now look at the late ads personnel-wise.
All right, they're matching up, and they brought some bigger people up front.
Brad Smith, nobody accounted for the wide receiver. Touchdown, Missouri. Darius Outlaw.
Kansas should have called a timeout, Joel. You saw with the late substitution by Kansas, you saw Johnson looking at the sideline and pointing to his right bicep, like, let's get the call, get the call. They ran people in late, and Kansas at that point should have signaled timeout because here's the lonesome soldier. Nobody in sight. Kansas very late getting personnel on the football field. Too late. Easy touchdown. Mistake.
And almost too low a throw for Outlaw. That's the way it's gone for Missouri today. Matheny with the point after. And Missouri is back up by 1, 14-13. So mistakes. You talked about wasted opportunities at halftime. Mistakes continue for the Jayhawks. The Tigers take advantage of it.
Lastly, I've got an announcement that's going to make a lot of you happy. We're getting all new printers and all new copiers from a company called Kyocera Mida. Tell them why, Andy.
They're simple and easy to use. They're people-friendly.
You'll access everything from your desktop. Jen?
Because they're network-friendly.
They produce brilliant color with a cost of ownership. Tom?
That's budget-friendly.
People-friendly copiers and printers only from Kyocera Mida.
They're where you are. They're where you've been. They're where you're going. Wi-Fi internet access for your laptop and PDA. T-Mobile hotspot. Get more.
Mi gente, Celia Cruz, the queen of salsa. Like Dr. Pepper. Her inspiration is a light, and it's burning bright. The taste of Dr. Pepper. The taste of originality.
where you are. They're where you've been. They're where you're going. Wi-Fi internet access for your laptop or PDA. T-Mobile Hotspot. Get more.
College Football Saturday on Fox Sports Net, brought to you by Kyocera, the new value frontier. Also by Dr. Pepper. BU, nothing's better, it's Dr. Pepper. By T-Mobile, get more minutes, more features, more service. And by today's first down line, it's all brought to you by Net Zero high-speed internet. Surf the web 5 times faster. Well, Missouri finally put together a long drive, 72 yards to start the second half. Kansas helped them out, though, big time, as Jarius Outlaw catches the 9-yard toss from Brad Smith on our Nissan scoring drive. And Missouri regains the lead by a point. Clark Green going back with Greg Higgins, waiting for the Matheny kick. Downwind, Matheny gets all of it. Go out of the end zone. Kansas starting back at their own 20-yard line. That is their worst field position to start a drive today.
Joel, here's Kansas had some problems on this touchdown play. They're running, they're running guys on and off the field late. Here comes one late defender. They only have, right here, they only have 10 men on the field now. Nobody covering Outlaw. 10 people. It's easy to score when you're 11 on 10 and the primary receiver is uncovered. Kansas should have called timeout. They were having personnel substitution problems. They didn't know whether to call their short yardage defense, their goal line defense, their base defense, and they came up a man short.
Clark Green, the single to the backfield. They'll give it off to Green. Big hole up the middle. And he's right at the first down marker. I think he's got it across the 30. Yeah, looking at the drives for Kansas. Some short fields for Kansas, so they should have had a bigger lead.
Oh, absolutely. But, you know, here on one of those short fields, -2 on 3 plays. I mean, that's not going to get it done. They score right here. It takes them 5 plays to go only 14 yards. But that's a heck of an opportunity when you have a short field like that. They left points on the board, as we talked about. They missed an extra point after their first touchdown, had a hole problem on a field goal, had a drop touchdown pass, and then they make a mental error on a touchdown by Missouri to start the second half.
So they move the football, move the chains out across the 30. Time for Whittemore, and now a lane to run in. He's got about 5, almost 6 across the 35-yard line. Down to the sideline again, Jim Knox.
Okay, Joel, just reminding Big 12 football fans, don't forget you can email us. We'll check out anything around Memorial Stadium today. Just log on to foxsports.com. Keyword, Ask Knox. Give us an email.
And when are you going to get back with him, Knox? Is it almost like the proverbial check in the mail?
Yeah, really. It's the Jim Knox Big 12 cult following.
2nd and 5. The ball just shy of the 36. Whittemore, one of the few times running the option. Timed the pitch well, but Missouri really pursued down the line. Good lateral pursuit. A loss back at the 35. As Brandon Barnes, the outside backer from Sykeston. The senior played it perfectly.
Let's take a look at Kansas and their keys to this football game. They made some big plays. They definitely made a couple, but they didn't take advantage of numerous big play opportunities. 6 different players with a catch. That's pretty good. That's not bad. That's decent distribution. The football. Everybody has as little. Nobody has to do a lot. 4 drop passes. One of them, touchdown written all over it. That's a big problem.
Now big one for the Missouri defense, leading by only a point. Can Kansas convert? Whittemore looking for the screen. Green won't go anywhere. That was telegraphed. Brandon Barnes again stayed at home on the play, the outside backer.
Brandon Barnes is a heck of a story. Here's a kid that started his career at Missouri as a wide receiver. They moved him to safety. Now he's a linebacker. 3 different positions during his career at Missouri. That's a heck of an athlete right there, and a versatile athlete to make all the switches he's made.
And as a senior, you bring up a great point. He didn't make the move to the defensive side until last season.
Right.
Marcus James waiting for the punt. Curtis Ansell. We're halfway through the 3rd quarter. So Missouri gets the stop after a first down. Trying to rush it up the middle. And into the wind. High spiral. James calling for the fair catch. Takes it in cleanly.
He signaled and then started running. He signaled fair catch, and he started running after he caught the ball.
Well, he's trying to create space with a man right in front of him, and he got that done. Kenneth Thompson was there.
And now he's between the, he's in no man's land. He'd already, oh, do I signal fair catch?
Try the new Southwest Char Grilled Salad featuring spicy chicken, only at Chick-fil-A.
I expect to be confused, then treated like a preschooler for asking questions.
I expect to be treated badly, then told to hand over a fat check.
I expect this to be a real pain in my life.
Shopping for insurance shouldn't be painful. At A Affordable, we treat you right. Our agents keep it simple, offering quality insurance at an affordable price. So call A Affordable today, and you can save the great expectations for the cable companies.
What's that?
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
1 point lead for the Missouri Tigers in the border battle. And Joel Myers along with Dave Lappin, Jim Knox on the sideline. We're joined now by Missouri Tiger tight end All-American, Hall of Famer after his days in the NFL. Kellen Winslow joining us. Kellen, I appreciate your taking the time. You must have some great memories of the series between Missouri and Kansas.
Yeah, Joel, I do. There were some great ball games. It was a game that, you know, the rivalry, but you had to win the game to keep your head football coach. You know, to be honest about it. You know, we had some great victories at the University of Missouri with Coach Al Onofrio, but unfortunately, as I remembered, my first 3 years there, we never beat Kansas until my senior year. We beat Notre Dame, we beat Alabama, we beat Ohio State, we beat Nebraska, but we struggled in conference against Kansas, and the rivalry was so intense at that time that head coaches lost their jobs over it.
Kellen, you're such a great player at wide receiver, at the tight end position. You were like a big wide receiver, but you could also block like a tackle. You revolutionized the position. Is the tight end position the same in college football today as it was when you revolutionized it in the NFL?
I think it's the same. Some teams have started to use the tight end a little bit more, get a little bit more innovative, especially when they have a very talented tight end. You know, by the way, Missouri could get the ball to the tight end a little bit more because the tight end is always open. Exactly. In my entire career, I don't think I was ever covered by anybody because you always think you can catch the football. But you've got to get the ball to the tight end. It's such a crucial part of the field, in the middle of the field, that it opens up things on the outside. When you don't throw down the middle, you don't use your tight end, you're really just cutting the field down for the defense to cover, and you're hurting your running game immensely.
Well, Kellen, we appreciate your taking the time. Obviously, you're surprised like we were there wasn't more offense in the first half of this game.
Yeah, I've been watching the game, and, you know, it very easily could be 28-27, but, you know, Missouri got away from what they do best, and that's running the football.
Yes.
And we just got back to that in the second half, and hopefully that's what they will thrive on. But, you know, the last drive, they threw the ball too many times. You got to get the running game going.
Hey, Kellen, I appreciate your taking the time to be with us today. Keep it up, and congratulations on what's going on in Miami for your son as well.
All right, Joe. Thanks a lot. You guys keep it up. You're doing a great job in the broadcast.
That's All-American Hall of Famer Kellen Winslow, the former Missouri Tiger.
This is a man at the top of his power. And this is the man who will take his place.
You'll make Dan Barrington proud.
I plan to. Inside Washington's most powerful law firm.
Otherwise known as the 10th level of hell.
There's work to be done.
One good man refuses to give in.
What does he know? Nothing.
Is there any possibility that Dan Barrington was murdered?
Rob Lowe is in the Lion's Den this week on NBC.
A brilliant sun, virgin sand that stretches for miles, and not another soul to bother you. Because there are 1,000 ways the Marzook Desert can kill you, and that's a deterrent.
Are you tough enough to drive a Tacoma?
America's pastime ignites in primetime. The Major League playoffs begin on Fox.
Up tonight after the football game on Bubba Burger's Hardcore Football, OSU head coach Les Miles will be in studio. And A&M looks to get back into the win column as the Aggies host Pittsburgh. We will have extended post-game coverage from Kyle Field and College Station. And our own Rick Renner previews the Big Tuna going back to the Meadowlands to play his former team. So get ready, hardcore fans. We'll see you tonight after the football game on the Bubba Burger's Hardcore Football.
Jayhawks get it back. Quiet crowd here in Lawrence. And don't forget, college football presented by Kyocera. Back on Fox Sports Net. Doubleheader next week. Washington Huskies taking on the UCLA Bruins Pac-10 play. And then late, it's Texas A&M going up against Texas Tech. All-state shootout there. College football. Next week, all presented by Kyocera. It starts at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. As Whittemore on his own for about 5 to the 33. And don't forget Kellen Winslow. Well, he'll be in the studio next week. We were just talking to him. He's going to be in the studio later today on Fox Sports Net. So now Kansas with the ball back their own 28, 5 on first down. They have been able to move it. They've been their own worst enemy. And today's first down line is brought to you by Net Zero high-speed internet. So the mistakes continue for the Jayhawks. 2nd and 5. Whittemore. Bubble was there, and now an opportunity to run it. He knew where the marker was, and he went right for it. He thought about going outside, and then he saw he had that little seam. And he's got a first down. Brandon Barnes laid it on him, but he got it to the 39-yard line.
I really respect Whittemore. Kid's a heck of a player. He competes every single snap. Kansas has been their own worst enemy. They self-destructed today. You know, we talked about the points they left on the field in the first half, and then only having 10 men on the field and a critical scoring opportunity for Missouri. Outlaw uncovered.
Another first down for the Jayhawks. Second possession of the second half for Kansas. Whittemore in the flat. A bullet right by John Randall. Not a very catchable ball. No, we caught up with Bill Whittemore and talked about what it's like trying to restore tradition here for the Jayhawk football program.
You know, we hope to be the the team that turns this program around. Coach Mangino's been here a year. We know what he expects out of us, and he sets that standard high. And we're going to try to live up to it the best we can. We're setting the standard high for us. And so yeah, I guess the identity would be the team that turned this program around the corner.
They got this guy too late though. Senior this year from Brentwood, Tennessee. Plays with a big heart, huge motor. Now it's 2nd and 10. Quarterback draw. He slowed down momentarily. Not deterred though. And he gets 8. About to the 47-yard line.
He carried the ball last year too often, Joel, because they didn't have a complement for him, and he got hurt in the Missouri game last year in the 9th game of the season. And he gets beat up a little bit because of his size. He's diminutive, but he's tough in that running game. He makes people miss and gets extra yards, and he's just a tough customer. You got to love him.
Jayhawks 50% on their third down tries, and you want to put it in his hands. You do have to love the heart that he shows out there. Now can he get another yard? Running it, he will. He's got the first down on his own into Missouri territory, all the way down to the 45. I wouldn't take it out of his hands.
He's the guy. He's the playmaker.
As we look at the Toyota leaderboard, Kansas up there offensively, and this is a team that, as you can see over the last couple of years, they couldn't get it done at all.
No.
Now 4th in the nation in total offense coming in today.
In 3 straight games, scored over 40 points. No Kansas football team in their storied history has scored 40 points or more in 4 straight games. They tied a record doing that.
Whittemore on the delay to green. He's brought down from behind inside the 45 of the 43 by C.J. Mosley. So it's 113 years of Kansas football. And they're trying to, I don't know if they'll get to 40 today, but that's what they were trying to accomplish.
Exactly. But now Kansas doing the same thing, Joel. Missouri got away from it. Their first drive, they ran the ball, scored a touchdown. Then they started throwing too much on their second possession. Punt the ball to Kansas. Now they're running the football. I think in this kind of football game, both teams are taking the passing game away. You have mobile quarterbacks with good running backs. Run the ball.
2nd and 7. Looking at Mosley go out of the game. That guy needs a license plate. Whittemore changes the play at the line. Pocket collapsing, but he's got room to run. He should get another first down, but a great open field tackle by Brandon Barnes again. He's short by a little less than 2. It looked like an automatic first down. That's how good a stop it was for Barnes.
Boy, Ellison just had an incredible bull rush inside. Watch him coming back to Whittemore. Just knocking the guard backwards right there. Whittemore says, that's okay. Run by me. I'm taking it up the football field. You know, separating from the bull rush is key in making a play on the quarterback. The bull rush by 97, Ellison was pretty extraordinary.
Executed played on the end last year for the Tigers.
This
now
big,
another 3rd and short.
That big horse right there inside. He's strong.
Green breaks the tackle and gets the first down. They stand him up at the 34. He got out of a tackle from Ellison right at the line, but he had quite a surge once he got the football.
Yeah, watch right here. Ellison on Coker, and he gets inside. Coker trying to cut him off. Whoosh, just takes him down. Can't quite make the play because the rest of the offensive line, the left side, the offensive line, got a nice surge and got some movement and got some push. Coker was just fighting for dear life back there on the backside trying to cut Ellison off.
And now Kansas pounding it at Missouri, doing it on the ground. Drive started back at their own 28, 1st and 10 at the Tigers 34. Whittemore at 2 on that side, sprint draw, and Green breaks another tackle, gets an extra 2 or 3. Little sprint draw action inside the 30 for about 5 more.
Here's a kid that finishes every run hard. He knows he gets up grabbing his hamstring a little bit at the conclusion of this run, but watch the second effort right there. He's going to pick up another couple of yards because he takes the contact and surges forward, but he grabbed that leg a little bit at the end of the run.
So the true freshman from Wichita, John Randall, takes over. And coming into the contest after the first 4, Randall averaged 6.3 per carry this year. They've got some components offensively. 2nd down. Whittemore out of the edge. If he wants Randall, he can go back that way. Wide open at the 5. He was thinking along those same lines.
Yep. He was available. He was available a little sooner. Randall's a guy that's going to make you miss in the open field. He faked to Randall and then a throwback pass to Randall. Just slightly underthrows the football. If he leads him into the end zone, it's an easy catch for Randall for a touchdown.
And he puts a little air under it.
Yeah, that's right. Just lead him into the end zone and don't throw that ball short.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 6. 68 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. They're working into the wind, thinking about field goal tries. And Missouri's offside. Free snap for Whittemore. Randall's available. He'll take the longer one for a first down inside the 20, going to Rideau. So Randall wide open between the linebackers, but Rideau, he had an edge on his man.
Mosley, I think, is the one that jumped into the neutral zone. Listening to the quarterback. You can't listen to the voice inflection of the quarterback. Watch the ball. When the ball moves, you move.
Defense offside. Decline the penalty. First down.
Free play. Easy decision to make. Generated a first down, and Rideau has upgraded his level of play. And look at the lane, the passing lane Whittemore's got. Doesn't throw it pretty, but it gets there. And it gets there with some velocity. And then Rideau takes the double hit.
1st and 10, Kansas, all the way down to the Missouri 15. Randall stays with the backfield. He'll get it. Weaving his way up the middle. Big yardage. 1st and goal to the 4. Brandon Barnes got him, but not before little John Randall, the true freshman for Wichita, got 11.
You know, this Kansas offensive line is playing exceptionally well as a unit. And they haven't been together very long at all. Watch them operate up front here. Little angle blocking and creating a crease. And you got a junior college center first year with the program, converted tight end playing left tackle for the first time, and they're operating at a very efficient level.
It's outside of the 3, 1st and goal. Little check off at the line by Whittemore. It'll be Randall on the toss sweep. Can he get around the corner? No. Good pursuit. Bill over there for the end. And Mizzou stops him at least for the time being on the final snap of a very entertaining 3rd quarter that went by quickly as both teams kept it on the ground.
Got a ball game, Joel.
3rd quarter in the books. Missouri clings to a 1-point lead over the Kansas Jayhawks 14-13. And you're watching College Football Saturday on Fox Sports Net, presented by Kyocera. You know, Mizzou, more overtime wins, more overtime games than any other team in college football. Will that happen once again? Welcome back to Lawrence. Our best by game summary. As you look at the numbers with Missouri up by 1, the missed extra point, a blown field goal opportunity, a drop touchdown by a true freshman, Moderick Johnson. 11 more points should be on the board for Kansas.
Look at that, 10%, 1 for 10 on third down for Missouri. Kansas converting well over 50%, but Missouri's done such a good job on fourth down. Time of possession is not as distorted as you would think.
2nd and goal at the 6. Clark Green trying the left side, battling his way. Did he get there? Yes! Touchdown, Kansas.
That's just great effort by a running back with powerful leg drive. Finishing the run. And he's limping off the football field. He limped off the series before. Good surge up front. Everybody's sustaining their blocks. And watch Green just run the pile over. That is phenomenal. And again, limping off the football field. He's got a little bit of a leg problem. You would never know it on that run for a touchdown.
The Jayhawks are going for 2, up by 5. Randall is taken over in the backfield. He's behind Wabusi. Will they keep it on the ground? Tight formation. To go up by 7. Looking back, wide open, the tight end. The 2-point conversion to Denver Lattimore. A little drag. He decoyed at the line, and nobody accounted for him.
Yeah, a little throwback pass to the tight end. Perfect call at a perfect time of the football game. Back on schedule is Kansas with that 2-point conversion. Missing the extra point after the first touchdown. Now they're back on schedule. Throwback pass to the tight end. All by his lonesome.
News for the Kansas Jayhawks and their fans. This is what's occurring on the sideline. We didn't tape this while we were away. Clark Green headed to the locker room as the Jayhawks have regained the lead over the Missouri Tigers 21-14. Just a few seconds into the 4th, hitting it downwind. It'll be brought back by Roberson. A yard into the end zone. Will he get a lane? No. What a play downfield. The Kansas Jayhawks. John Cornish with a great play on the special teams coverage.
Joel, as you see, Clark Green just taken into the locker room. Leg cramps, that's what it is. Big time pain here in the left hamstring. He was down in pickle juice on the sideline. 3 bottles, he's in severe pain. He's in the locker room. May put IV on him. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he comes back out here in the second.
They got you, Knox. They'll put an IV on him and put a bag of fluid into him. Maybe another one if he needs it. Get him back out on the field. It happens regularly in the NFL.
Abrams in the backfield from the 14. Nothing there. Up the gut for a yard or 2. Caught it 2, and that is it. So Missouri now with a very long field. The special teams coverage has been sensational for Kansas.
Oh yeah, the coverage team fed off the momentum of Kansas scoring the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to give them a touchdown lead.
Missouri trying to go to 5-0 for the first time since 1981 in the top 25 for the first time since 1998. But now Kansas trying to pull off the upset. Can their playmaker Brad Smith come up big? He's not been much of a factor today. He'll get hit in the backfield by Floodman. It's taken a long time in the backfield all day for Missouri. They were in slow motion that time. Toomey and Floodman.
And now Kansas has got a tidal wave of emotion, and they're just riding that wave to the shore.
Has Mizzou been in quicksand, or is it just me?
Yeah, I think Kansas is at such a high emotional level. They're making Missouri look like they're standing around.
Kansas defense beating them to the punch. Kansas defense has given up yardage this year, but not today to Missouri. Huge third down deep in their own territory. Smith coming back the other way. Abram needs a block. He gets into the 20. Will he get there? Yes. He got the first down across the 24, I believe. The block from Rob Draghi, the left tackle, the senior, an Outland Trophy candidate.
Throwback screen. I'll allow the 2-point conversion, but not quite the same. You see Abram out of screen. There he goes. And Draghi, as you described, Joel, comes out and gets enough of a piece of Neil Reed to get it up the football field. Big lineman who's an NFL prospect. And Zach Abram knows where the chains were. Did he get there?
It'll be another one of those by an inch or two. Either way. Huge measurement for Missouri, deep in their own territory. They've got it.
By half a football.
So what a call by Gary Pinkel and his staff. They come through. Little deception in the backfield, and it worked.
What you have is two defenses running to the football. When they're aggressive running to the football, use that against them. Misdirection, throw back. You know, you let them over, pursue, and throw it back to where they vacated.
Smith with Abram. Abram finds a lane. Slashes across to the 30 to the 31 for a gain of 6. Dave Christensen, the offensive coordinator, coming up with a call for Gary Pinkel as Jones and Lamb combine on that hit. But it has been spotty all day offensively for the Missouri Tigers. On so far, Dave, 48 snaps. They only have 178 yards of offense, and that was their 49th snap.
And 111 of those yards have been Zach Abram on the ground on 17 carries. Pretty strong.
They reset the play clock. And now Smith wants to call a timeout, or is he going to change the play?
He's calling a bunch formation. He's having them re-huddle.
Without a doubt.
They get the sugar huddle going 2 yards, 3 yards from line of scrimmage. Now he calls timeout.
Well, there's been confusion before for the Missouri Tigers offensively. We saw it at the end of the first half, and now 2.5 into the fourth quarter. We've got our own version of the stands of the border battle. Yeah. Welcome back to Lawrence, Kansas.
There's the line of demarcation. There's the border right there of the two states. Line of demarcation.
T-Mobile trivia time. Who holds the single-game rushing record in this series between the Tigers and the Jayhawks? Was it a Tiger? Was it a Jayhawk?
I know that one. And it's a little bit of a surprise, maybe. Unbelievable effort, though.
You'd think maybe Gale Sayers, John Riggins. Now, nothing doing. Brad Smith, after the timeout, can't get a thing done. Toomey, Curry surround him. So that's out of the timeout for Missouri. They've only got 2 timeouts on the board, and the clock rolling. Almost 3 minutes gone in the fourth quarter.
There's Toomey. You see he's got that little patch going on the bridge of his nose. The helmet coming down and creasing his nose. It's good when a middle linebacker has that blood dripping. Toomey's the man. Getting them all jacked up here.
It's a lot of wind in the face of the Missouri Tigers. Could be difficult throwing the football. 3rd and 5. Missouri only 2 for 11 on 3rd down tries. 3 on the far side. Smith, can he get to the 35? No. Knocked out of bounds. What a play by Johnson. Talk about a quick recovery.
He closed on Brad Smith in a heartbeat. Excellent pursuit, excellent running to the football. And that's all it is. It is Missouri running to the football. And look at them, inside-out pursuit. And Johnson looked like a flash. I mean, he looked like he was running as fast as he's ever run in his life.
He was honorable mention all Big 12 last year's Brock Harvey. See if he can keep it below the wind to a certain extent. Low snap, plenty of time. End over end. That's just what Kansas wanted. A very short one close to the midfield stripe. And where will they mark it out of bounds? Field judge coming up. He'll put it right at the 50. Jayhawks have everything going their way.
And here's the 2-point conversion that Kansas executed to put them up by 7. Bank of America highest standards play. Watch Lattimore fake like he's blocking down and then run a little drag pattern. And the whole play goes this way. Then Whittemore's going to throw back. Excellent execution. Great job by Lattimore. Faking the defense out. They lost track of him. They thought he was just blocking. Play went one way, and he threw back the other. Whittemore, great throw. Lattimore, great play.
Real interesting time coming up now for Kansas. If they can chew some clock, get at least 3. Randall dashes inside to the 49. They'll put him down to the 48-yard line for a gain of 2. As Jim Knox mentioned, the sophomore from Tampa, the leading ground gainer today. Not John Randall, but Clark Green is in the locker room. And did he come back? He's been suffering from severe leg cramps. Trying to get him fluids in the locker room.
And the best way to do it is intravenously. You get that needle and pump those fluids in the body.
Green is back. Jim Knox, what's the latest?
All right, Joel, it just ran back out on the field. It looks like he's okay. Still in a little bit of pain, but it looks like he's grabbing his helmet. He may give it a go. We'll see what happens.
Mizzou coming with the blitz. Whittemore finds Rideau. Almost gets there and struggles for a first down. What an effort. The junior from Beaumont, Texas, wouldn't be taken down. It took 2 or 3. Washington was there.
And there's a flag, Joe. I think you have a face mask on the end of the tackle. And it's 15. It's not 5. It's the big one.
Take it all the way down to the 25-yard line of Missouri.
Boy, Rideau just showing. Look at the extra effort. Break the tackle. Stay after it. There's the hit. Grab of the face mask. Where is the grab? Has it happened yet? Not yet. Not yet. I don't see it. I think it's a phantom call.
He was trying to strip the ball away.
Yeah, phantom call. He hit him up high, but never did grab the grill.
It's a huge break for Kansas instead of their own 40. Now almost in field goal territory for Johnny Beck.
That's unfortunate. Trying to get Green's hamstrings and groins loosened up. When you start to cramp, your entire body locks up on you. It's ugly.
First down, Jayhawks. Randall. Now they can hold on, chew up some clock, 10.5 to play. They're already close to field goal territory with a wind to their back. Ellison, the junior from St. Louis, making the hit. Back to our T-Mobile trivia. Well, who's got the record for rushing between these two old rivals?
Tuxedo Tony Sands. He had 58 carries. Are you kidding me? 396 yards was the record till LT broke it at TCU for 406. But that's almost 3 games worth of carries. 58 carries in 1 game. Tony Sands was in the jacuzzi for 3 days.
Second and call it 7 at the Missouri 22. Whittemore milking the play clock. Now moving the pocket by design. Breaks a tackle and close to another first down. Got a spot inside the 16. Fabian Bean from behind, a redshirt freshman out of Fontana, California, dragging him down.
I thought Russ Bell was going to light him up, Joel, but he is so patient. Watch 73 in the white. He's got an angle, and he runs right by him. Whittemore is so patient, so poised. He's unflappable. I mean, it's like rush hour around him, all this traffic, and he's just working his way through it, weaving very calmly. That's an amazing athlete.
And a touchdown here for Whittemore, and the Jayhawks could potentially ice it for Kansas. Whittemore needed a yard. He got it. Quick count. Took it on his own. He knows the count better than anyone else except his center. And it's a first down to the 14.
It's a big drive going on here right now for the Jayhawks. And Bill Whittemore saying, I have to beat Missouri one time in this border war before I graduate. Here's the man.
I can't believe it. Balboa. Rocky Balboa is back in the game.
That tells you how important this game is. He's saying, forget cramps. It's going to have to be more than that to keep me out of this bad boy.
The sophomore from Tampa, Clark Green, is singled in the backfield. On first down. Whittemore wants to go back with a screen the other way. A low throw, good grab. And the tight end takes it inside the 15. Good coverage by Missouri.
That's the
down
tackle.
To the 13, and with tackle eligible.
Yeah.
Adrian Jones, the left tackle, the senior from Dallas, who was a tight end last year.
They lined him up in an eligible position. And at the end of the line of scrimmage, he had to report eligible to the referee. And Adrian Jones, a former tight end, is at the end of the line of scrimmage, and they're going to throw him the football on the throwback pass. He releases. He's reported eligible, even though he's got an ineligible number, and he is the tight end catching the ball just like he used to before he moved inside the tackle.
Seconds, Van 9 from the 13. Missouri has to take it away. Looks like automatic points for Kansas. Quick slant. First and goal, Rideau. Has he got Stickum on those?
Boy, that was just a quick snatch. I mean, he extended those hands and ripped that ball back to his body in a heartbeat. It was like he was plucking that thing from the air. Tremendous hooks right there. It's a good throw by Whittemore. Nice blitz pickup by Green. And look at that snag. Are you kidding me? And he knows he's going to get lit up.
He's a long kid, 6'4", 185. Best thing about it for the Jayhawks, he's only a junior.
Yeah, and then you get another Modric Johnson, 6'5" freshman. They got some receivers that the Twin Towers out there.
Inside of 8 to play. Missouri has already used a second half timeout. They're in danger of going down by 14. Kansas has not beaten a ranked opponent in their last 21 tries. Will they get it done finally? Whittemore, quarterback draw, touchdown Jayhawks. That was too easy, Dave.
Well, they got the Missouri Tigers outgapped. They were one man short because basically you have two backs in the backfield. Whenever Smith or Whittemore is in the shotgun with a back on his hip, that's a two-back formation. The back on his hip blocked, and they outgapped him by one man. Whittemore untouched. He scores in touch football.
Back for the big point after. Good. And a two-touchdown lead with 7.5 to play for the Jayhawks, trying to pull off the upset. Whittemore has done more than his part. The Jayhawks lead it 28-14. 10 times faster. They're down by 14. Jayhawks loving every second of it. Nobody is ever going to say that Mark Mangino can't coach offense. They've had a little bit of everything today from their offensive unit. He was exceptional for Bob Stoops at Oklahoma before taking the job here at Kansas.
And he was at Kansas State before that, doing a heck of a job for Coach Snyder.
So now Missouri sends back James and Roberson.
Coach Mangino knows his X's and O's on the offensive side of the football for sure. Good coach on every phase.
It'll go to James, and over his head, he's going to bring it out. I don't believe it. And he's buried. That's the way it's gone for Missouri. Decisions like that, they'll have it back at their own 15-yard line. College football triple header presented by Kyocera continues on Fox Sports Net later today. USC on the road. The third-ranked Trojans take in on the Golden Bears of Cal. Strawberry Canyon in Berkeley. See on Tightwad Hill. And then another Pac-10 showdown. Arizona State taking on Oregon State. Plenty of offense there. Kickoff show at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Net. Mike Goldberg, Kellen Winslow, Billy Ray Smith in the studio tonight. So plenty of college football. Screen batted down. Smith gets it anyway. He needs a lot of blocks here. And at least gets 3, something out of nothing. Almost 4. It was batted back by Monroe Weekly.
Yeah. Weekly went airborne, knocked it back to Smith. Smith gets a completion to himself. That's rare. And he picked up 5 yards on it. 4 yards on it. Watch it. What Weekly get up, knocked it back. Smith heads up, receives it, says, I'm the primary. Here I go. And now he makes a few people miss and makes something out of nothing.
Missouri's got to work in a hurry. They need the first down. It's a poor throw behind the tight end. Cisse. Let's head to a Dr. Pepper game break now and rejoin Coach Bill.
Ex-Kansas coach Glenn Mason's Minnesota Golden Gophers lead Penn State by 6. 9 seconds left. Penn State's Michael Robinson on a 4th down play incomplete, and Minnesota still unbeaten, 20-14 over Penn State.
Well, Minnesota enhances their position. They are the 20th ranked team in the nation. Thank you, Bill. They'll move up a little bit. Winning on the road in particular. Mizzou on a 3rd down. Smith in trouble and on his way down. What a sack. David McMillan gets another, the junior from Killeen, Texas.
And Gary Pinkel is dumbfounded. He can't understand. There's an assignment. Simon there up front. Back does a good job on blitz pickup in the end of the line of scrimmage, but they bring a couple. And McMillan right here comes in unblocked. I mean, the line slides away from him. What are you thinking? You can't just let McMillan go. It was turn back protection. If the guy's right on your face, you have to stay with him. You can't turn him free. There's nobody to pick him up.
Now punting out of his own end zone, Brock Harvey. Charles Gordon back close to the midfield stripe. Man, a good one by Harvey into the wind, but still plus territory. Fair catch called for. Mangino says it was. Doesn't get a flag, but still. Kansas is going to have it at the Missouri 49. Justin Scott on the coverage.
There's Bill Whittemore has been the story in today's game. Whittemore wants more. No question about it. He's thrown the ball accurately and effectively, coming in the number 2 quarterback in the country pass efficiency, and then he's run the ball equally well. It's really been the story of this football game. Playmaker extraordinaire.
And even though, Dave, he's only in his 2nd season as a starter, he truly looks like the senior today, while Brad Smith looks like the sophomore.
Well, as a first-year guy out of junior college, he was playing on instinct, Joel. This year, he understands the system so much better, and it's showing in his play.
They'll try to pound it, you would think, and they will. It's Randall in the sprint draw. Missouri wasn't ready, and what a move by Randall. He's got another way down to the 25 for another first down. You're in right by Calvin Calvin Washington in the secondary. He couldn't do much about it.
Oh, man, I'll tell you, Randall got on the edge of his skis that time. He made a cut, and Washington couldn't. Watch the redirection here. Boom. Plant. That's Crazy Legs Hirsch right there. That's big time. I mean, that's a violent cut. If I tried that, my ACL, MCL, PCL would be all strewn all over the field out there. There'd be no ligament left in either knee. It would be over.
I thought you were bone to bone anyway.
Pretty much. Pretty much. There'd be no cartilage, no nothing.
It is going to be quite a night in Lawrence, Kansas. Knocking off number 23 Missouri, their arch rivals. Blitz shown off the edge. They're coming in that direction. Randall runs right by it, though, and gets a couple. So right now, Missouri's got to start thinking about using timeouts. They've got 2 on the board. Clock moving with 5:45. You got to think about when you stop on a first down, they only get a yard or 2.
And Coach Pinkel is concerned right now. His football team didn't play well against Middle Tennessee State, and they've had a hangover. Whereas Kansas had scored 40 points or more 3 straight weeks. They came in with more momentum. Kansas left all those points on the field in the first half. This game shouldn't even be this close if Kansas had not self-destructed in the first half.
Kansas should have had 40+ again for the 4th straight week.
Right.
Whittemore milking the play clock. Randall again. Breaking a tackle. Running up the back of his blockers. Look at the motivation with a flag at the end of the play.
I think what you get going on there is you have a lineman assisting Coker, assisting Randall. You can't push your back and help him run.
He didn't need it.
Yeah, he didn't need it anyway. I think that's what the flag is. Coker got in behind Randall, number 75, the big guard. And he's distraught because that's the call. You can't get, but in a pile of people you can do it. But when you're one-on-one, Coker can't push Randall from behind and help him pick up yards.
Aiding the runner on the offense.
You know a lot about that.
5-yard penalties.
Yeah, and Coker can't believe it.
It's a former offensive lineman.
Yeah, but when you're in a pile, it's fine. But down the field, you'll see. What? Here he comes. Here comes Coker. Now he's pushed. There's no lineman, no defenders there. He's actually trying to pick him up and carry him. That's a no-go. And it's unnecessary. He did. He picked him up, and that's unnecessary. Saying, "Come with me, young man. I'll take you to the promised land." You can't do that. You can't pick your running back up and carry him down the field like he's a sack of potatoes.
Tony Coker, 6'5", 320-pounder. He can pick up Randall twice.
I'm telling you.
He outweighs him almost 2-1.
Yeah. It wasn't aiding. It was like, if you're going to do that, give him a shoulder ride or a piggyback, you know? Give him the fireman carry. Sling him over your shoulder. Walk him down the field. Oh, baby.
Well, you're dating yourself with that piggyback ride. 28-14 Kansas. Final 5 minutes of play. Now a 2nd and 3. Back at the 18th. Whittemore, quarterback draw. You can see it up here. He's got a 1st and goal. So icing on the cake for the Jayhawks. Brian Smith finally tripped him up the left end.
Well, which quarterback has been more creative today? Whittemore. Whittemore has made more plays. And his offensive line and his running backs, you know, when they're in the shotgun with a guy in his hip, that back becomes a blocker, and they've done a great job for Whittemore. He has broken the line of scrimmage well down the field before he's had to make his first cut many times.
Now Kansas can afford to look over to the sideline, take all 25 seconds off the play clock. And Mark Mangino is going to be even with Gary Pinkel. He'll be 1-1. Gary Pinkel 2-0 coming into the game against the Jayhawks. Randall, nice little cut inside, down to the 2. They got the ball with just inside of 8 minutes to play. So a little effectively. And this is what they wanted to do more than anything else. Take 4 or 5 minutes off the clock.
And Mark Mangino saying, eat that clock up. You know, let's just stretch the time out in the huddle, take our time. The clock's our ally. It's the enemy in Missouri. Now he's playing ball control. And a big win for Kansas if it holds up, because it's in the Big 12 and it's a North Division win.
And it's the opener for both teams.
And really, they did not win a Big 12 game last season. They lost to Baylor in their closest game last year. This is Mark Mangino's first Big 12 victory as head coach of Kansas.
Spread the defense. Randall will get it. He's in. Touchdown, Jayhawks.
And it's icing on the cake for Mark Mangino right there. His guys were more physical and more enthusiastic and finished plays today, no question. Watch Rest of the offensive line just washing people away. Blocked down. I mean, there's that hole's 5 yards wide from the 2-yard line. Are you serious? Again, second consecutive time you score and touch football. Nobody lays a fingernail on it.
Back with the point after he missed the first to start today, and it looked like it was going to be one of those days for the Jayhawks, even at halftime. They only led by 6 despite dominating the contest. Well, now it is total domination, 35-14. Coming in today, only 3 undefeateds in the Big 12. Make it 2 now, as Missouri is going to fall for the first time. Nebraska and Oklahoma also 4-0 going into this weekend. Nebraska winner, winning their 4th on the road at Southern Miss, and very convincingly, as Kansas has blitzed Missouri in the 4th quarter.
Hung a big 22 on them right now. That's pretty impressive.
Who is that masked man?
That's Mark Mangino saying, my football team is learning how to finish football games and finish plays. And this guy was assistant coach of the year in college football during his term and his time at Oklahoma and Kansas State. One heck of a football coach right there, no doubt about it.
Boy, he keeps that hat low, those glasses on. It's a little gray now. But this is by far his biggest win as the head coach of the Jayhawks.
13 junior college players. He brings in 13, a school record, and a lot of them making major contributions.
It'll be Roberson bringing it back for the Tigers inside his own 5. Little room to roam, but hit and dropped at the 33. Well, back in 1962, Gale Sayers arrived here in Lawrence.
Gale Sayers takes a pitch out and turns the corner. Sayers eludes a couple of tackles and breaks into the clear. The 190-pound junior outdistances everyone on a 99-yard touchdown run.
The Kansas Comet. Bank of America higher standards. A 2-time All-American here for the Jayhawks.
Special.
You said it. Amazing in college, in the pros, and what a quality person. Gale Sayers, and what a career with the Chicago Bears.
Well, that 99-yard run from scrimmage will never be broken. It'll be tied. He was the first to do it. The only way you can go more than 99 is on a kick return.
Came against Bob Devaney's Nebraska Cornhuskers back in '63. Brad Smith, he has been just locked down all day as Corey Kipp makes the hit. But it's been maybe the most frustrating day of his young career. Missouri with 2 timeouts on the board, inside of 3 to play. Man, Cisse, too tall for him. It is a blowout for the Kansas Jayhawks. And let's face it, this is a 2-10 team last year.
Right.
So that's pretty dramatic when all of a sudden you're 4-1. Today's first down line brought to you by Net Zero, high-speed internet. .250 left. Jayhawks just want to make sure there's all 5 timeouts on the board at the end of the day. Smith, that's his best run of the day by far. And it comes when the game's already over at the 42 of Kansas. As they're playing it soft, let's face it, up front. Let's head downstairs again. Jim Knox.
Well, actually, Joel, I'm up here on the hill. We had a number of emails asking what it's like to watch a game from the hill. We're about 100 yards from the field. What's it like, guys?
Best seats in the house. They're free.
Free. Are those goalposts breakable?
Oh, maybe they will be out of this game.
Oh, goalposts could be coming down, guys.
All right. Well, Knoxy, you know, he feels right at home on Tightwad Hill, doesn't he?
Oh, man.
Jim.
Oh, bada boom, bada bing. Knoxy, here he is. He's working the crowd.
This is a great view, guys. Best part about it, like they said, they're free. All you got to do is pay parking, I guess.
Yeah.
Not if you live on campus, Jim. They walked here.
They got to do is
this is truly though.
Carpool.
This is one of those classic environments where you'd want your kid to go to a school like Columbia, where it's the only game in town. The campus, the colleges, everything.
Yeah, it's a great campus town.
Second down for the Tigers. Outlaw. Dropped immediately. Nick Reed over there. Boy, Nick Reed has showed up on every play today.
This Kansas Jayhawk defensive football team has played at another level. I mean, they have been questionable going into this football game. They stepped up.
We watched him yesterday. Smith is on his way down again. Another sack of Brad Smith making the play. It was Brandon Perkins, a sophomore from Houston, who came inside for the team lead with 3 sacks. That's his 4th of the season. Well, you know, watching the defense yesterday against the scout team offense, they're not a huge group.
No, they're not. They're not. But they play with a lot of heart. There's no doubt about that. And you got a young man right there, Brandon Perkins. He got knocked on the ground. He got cut to the ground, jumped back up, and sacked Brad Smith. That's a big effort play.
Missouri using a timeout on a 4th and 13. That's been their best play of the day, 4th down. They're 4 for 4 on 4th down. This gives you an idea, though, the problems they've had. Our Dr. Pepper Heisman watch with 1:40 to play.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Boy, is he putting up numbers for Pittsburgh.
No, Rashawn Woods back into the picture after what he did last week.
No doubt about that. Brian Randall at Virginia Tech. Look at his percentage, 72%. He's rushed for over 130 as well. And Losman at Tulane, a heck of a quarterback.
Well, look at the ratio, 15/3.
5-1.
He's got it better than 1,300 yards for JP.
Brad Smith was being mentioned by a lot of people on their list. Today's game won't help him. No. Missouri will probably drop out of the top 25, no question about that. Brad Smith, his Heisman hopes are dashed a little bit.
12 of 13, 62 yards passing, Dave. And on the ground, where he does most of his damage, he has an average 2 yards a carry, 17 of 33, and it's behind his intended target, Sean Coffey. That'll do it for the Tigers. And now the Jayhawks accelerate and run out the clock.
And Tony Stubbs made the hit, who played a whale of a football game, and now you have the Jayhawks realizing victory is within their grasp, and that there's nothing more fulfilling as an offensive lineman than to take that victory formation and have your quarterback genuflect. Take that knee, and that's the victory play.
Our Kyocera Mita play of the game. Bill Whittemore calling his own number.
Green with a nice block. Whittemore not touched till he's 3 yards in the end zone.
It is amazing. It's one thing to spread your defense out, but you talked about it 3 times. Running backs or Whittemore have basically gone untouched into the end zone. Randall in the backfield. One more snap, maybe 2 more, and it's over with 90 seconds left. And there's no question our Dr. Pepper player of the game is that young man who's been so efficient again. He's thrown for 111, 14 of 22 in the passing department, but he hasn't made any mistakes. He's had a couple of touchdown runs, and he's got 76 yards on 16 carries.
Well, he outplayed Brad Smith head-to-head. Same style of play at quarterback. Who was going to be more creative? Who was going to make more plays for his football team? Whittemore made more plays for Mark Mangino and his Jayhawk team.
Final minute of play as they start to count it down and start to sing here. Randall buried in the backfield. Good hit by C.J. Mosley. His motor's been running all day, too, for the Tigers. But the one consistent aspect of the game, between the tackles, the Jayhawks had the middle of the field to themselves on the ground. They could run the football today.
And Missouri had won this hotly contested battle the last 2 years. Coach Pinkel undefeated early in his career against the Jayhawks 2-0. Mark Mangino now goes to 1-1.
211 yards rushing for Mangino and the Jayhawks. So they beat him in the trenches. And they were also very deceptive in what they did in the backfield. That'll do it. It's all over in Lawrence. And now a flag. It had to be a delay of game.
Yeah.
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
Groundhog Day, 6 seconds left.
Bill Whittemore comes to the sideline and kind of shrugs like, I can't believe that happened. Got to take another snap now. The celebration postponed for a few seconds, but I'll tell you what, there's no better feeling than in that huddle right now. It's like, hey guys, we've won this game by 21 points. Snap the ball. Let's take the victory formation out, genuflect, take the knee. Let's get out of here.
Missouri led at 14 at 14-13 after 3, but all Kansas in the 4th, and they prevailed over the Tigers. It's over now in Lawrence. And the Jayhawks head to the goalpost, winning at 35-14. Who said this was a basketball school?
The 4-1 Jayhawks. Last year, 2-10. They've already doubled their win total in 5 games.
I thought it was a sedate group of students here in Lawrence, but excited over the development very quickly of Mark Mangino's program, and he's downstairs with Jim Knox. Knoxy.
Coach, what a scene here. You got the students tearing down the goalposts, or at least trying to. You upset the 23rd ranked team in the nation, and you do it very convincingly.
That's right. I've always had confidence in our kids. We just had to keep the steady charge going. You know, everybody's called us a bunch of bums all year, and our kids feed off of that. We outplayed them. I feel good about it. Our defense came of age today. Our offense controlled the line of scrimmage, and our special teams were just super.
First off, the defense. How did you contain Brad Smith?
I'll tell you what, excellent game plan by our defensive coaches. Kept them contained, did a fabulous job. He had trouble throwing. We were in his face all day. We had a bunch of sacks. I'm very happy and pleased with the way our defensive coaches handled it today.
First Big 12 conference win. How does it feel?
It feels good. I like to have more of them, and our kids do too.
You said always a work in progress. Well, the hard work has paid off. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it.
One of the good guys in college football, Mark Mangino. And in a short period of time, it looks like the Jayhawk program is turning around.
Boy, has he done an incredible job from year 1 to year 2. You talk about improvement in a program. His graph has gone straight up. Straight up.
They win their conference opener in the North Division. Nebraska, they won early this season in the opener against Oklahoma State way back when. So now only 2 undefeateds as the goalposts do come down in Lawrence. When's the last time that happened? We talked about beating a ranked opponent. They were over their last 21 in that category. It's been some time since they've had reason to celebrate here in Lawrence. Downstairs again, Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Joe. Here he is, one of the mans of the hour. This is Bill Whittemore, quarterback. You were flawless today. Key reason why you guys came up 21 points, a victorious win like that, is because you were flawless, no mistakes. Bill, your thoughts?
Well, it's you know, we came out and played hard. You know, we got to give credit to all these fans coming out, giving us support, and we got out there and got it done.
Talk about right now the goalpost coming down. The momentum is going. You just got guys just knocked off the 23rd ranked team in the nation. A lot of times this fans, a lot of people have gotten down on you guys, but yet you guys continue to say a work in progress and the job well done.
Thank you.
It's pandemonium down here, guys.
Hey, Knoxy, where's that goalpost going? Where are they taking that?
Bill, the goalposts are coming down. How does it feel knocking off the 23rd ranked team in the nation?
It's sweet, you know, it's a little payback. They got us last year, we got them this year, baby.
Go celebrate, Bill. We'll get you out of here.
Yeah, there's a good reason that Bill Whittemore kept his helmet on. You know why he kept his helmet on? Because he wanted to hang with the student body, and he knew there were going to be a lot of guys slapping him around.
Where's the goalpost going in the water? Are the goalposts going to hit the river or what?
I think the bay.
The bay? Yeah. Man. What are they going to do with those bad boys? There goes goalpost number 2. It's working, teetering. It's in trouble.
So both Kansas and Missouri now 4-1, but Kansas takes the Big 12 opener between the two schools by 21 points. First and 10 provided by PVI Virtual Media Services, LLC. For Dave Lapp, Jim Knox, I'm Joel Myers. Thanks for joining us. What a momentous day in Lawrence, Kansas, if you're a Jayhawk fan. They beat the Tigers for the first time in 3 years. Now we go back to the studio. Let's rejoin Bill Jones, Greg Hill, and R.C. Slover.